In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Rays has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of aerolic waders. Big Rays for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org. Oh, we are back.
I'm back.
Adrian, you good over there, man?
Yeah, crack that water bottle open.
I need you to crack open a beer and grab a T-bone and bite it.
Man, come on, man. Talking smack because Daniel didn't bring me that boneless bird.
Oh, man. You know, he won't eat meat on the bone.
Won't grab the bone and
No,
No, like a T-bone with a fork and a knife.
Okay. I'll eat some ribs.
Well, I hope you eat ribs.
What?
Yes. I will eat pork ribs, not beef. I don't know who eats beef ribs.
So you're not touching a T-bone, though, huh?
No.
Not a chicken wing.
Not really even eating steak, period. It's not my jam.
I'll
cook it for you.
How about a chicken wing?
Nope.
Nah, bro.
It's on the
Let me
bone.
get them nugs, son.
I'm flabbergasted.
Me too.
I want to know why. Because I know
what is wrong with you.
I know what I'm afraid of.
Because I enjoy the finer things in life.
And why I'm afraid of them. For example,
What are you afraid of?
For example, I'm afraid of mayonnaise and iced tea.
Mayonnaise is delicious.
So is meat on the bone.
No.
But my point is this. I can trace back to why I cannot stand mayonnaise and iced tea. because when I was in kindergarten and my parents put me in this Christian private school, they had every single day for lunch was bologna sandwich on white bread with mayonnaise and iced tea.
Good,
and I couldn't stand it because all I ever ate was Spanish food. And then I'm here eating like the most whitest meal ever. Dude. And I could not, and I had to eat it. Like they forced me to eat it every single day, you know? And so ever since then, I can't fuck with it.
Were you always in trouble, like punishment, or
I
what?
got paddled. Yeah, I got paddled, but not for that, for talking. But it was like, I didn't even know English. I was learning English. Spanish is my first language. And I'm like, I'm practicing learning English and I get paddled. Like
on his last day, I'm making up a story here. He takes a bite of that bologna sandwich, just spits it right in the fucking counselor's face.
No.
Take the mayo and
so now
you've been in the field, so you ain't seen my last Instagram post, huh?
No. Is it mayonnaise?
Man, that fried bologna sandwich.
it's just a wooden spoon dipping into a jar.
That fried bologna sandwich from the Roadhouse, man.
Oh man.
Oh, for real?
I can't.
What? Son?
Actually, I could have bologna, but not if it has mayonnaise. And not on white bread.
And the iced tea, was the iced tea sweetened or no? Probably not.
I don't know.
If it wasn't sweetened, man,
I don't know what it was. It was
I
gross.
feel you there. It would have scarred me for life, too.
Yeah, man. So that leads me to ask why.
Look.
You've never explained this, so now as the world is listening, we need to know why the mayor does not eat meat on the bone.
So he eats ribs.
Yeah, only pork ribs. Pork ribs are different because they're delicious, right?
They are.
Yep.
They're super.
What about like moose ribs? You ever had Brandon's moose ribs? Deer ribs?
Deer ribs.
And them little deer ribs, just the whole rack?
It's almost like pork ribs. The bone's just thin. So it's not a lot of meat, you know, just like.
Now when it comes to game, man, I grind it all of it. Sausage, jerky. We're not staking anything.
Love you, dog, but you soft,
man, dude.
Man, you soft.
People are like crashing their cars right now. They're like, this guy,
Record
dude,
scratch.
I'm not voting for him.
That's okay. I don't need your votes.
Well, I'm questioning myself. Why am I sitting at a table with homies that don't eat meat on the bone and mayonnaise? I'm like,
because
Eric, you eat mayo?
I have eaten mayo at least once today.
Me too, bro. Me too.
No meat on the bone today, but you know, fixing to change that before the end of the week.
Okay.
See, I'll crush some mayo.
I carved some meat off of a bone today, raw, so I didn't eat it, didn't cook it.
I'll carve it off of there.
Yeah, I mean, it's close.
Yeah.
But I had some chicken salad. I had my wife some mayo, and my wife made it.
You see,
now for the record, I've said this before. I think on the pod. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself. Daniel will eat my wife's chicken salad. It has mayonnaise in it.
Okay, here's
one exception.
He's able to once a year.
So so we can have exceptions.
Yeah, one just like your pork ribs.
Okay.
My one exception is, and normally it's on a backpacking trip or hunt. I will have tuna fish.
Oh, true.
One day with mayonnaise, or his wife's chicken salad.
Because you have to have tuna with mayo. Have you had tuna without mayo?
No.
It's horrible.
Tastes like
I bet it is.
Yeah, you got to like drink something to get it down.
But in order for me to have this, like I have to be exerting myself, climbing mountains for like 8 miles, at least 8 to 12, to be like, I need that tuna fish with mayonnaise.
Desperate.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I bet you I can bring some tuna next time.
I bet I could bring some meat on the bone.
Huh?
I bet you I'll bring you some tuna, though, that you'll eat. You'll be like, damn, man, this shit good.
Okay. So what?
Okay,
let's hear it now. Let's hear it now.
So I don't mess with chicken on the bone because not I'm talking the real drumstick.
Mm-hmm. Where it's kind of brown and red on the inside.
Yeah, not that chicken wing drumstick. Not that party wing.
No, the real drumstick.
The real drumstick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like that long. Mm-hmm. And when you get towards the end.
The good part?
No, man.
Right there, kind of where you start biting marrow.
That fat
that
is
cartilage.
Like, fat's yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's just thinking about it, it's just disgusting. And then you peel off that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get that piece of gristle stuck on the bone. And if it pops off and it's in the meat and you don't know, and you bite down, you get that crunch.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out.
Nutrients.
Oh, no way. You just bite harder. Just like a meat grinder making sausage.
I'll tell you right now, you would not survive in Colombia. All we eat is gristle and the fat and the bones.
Yeah.
That's
Matter
it.
of fact,
all I need is
I'll
some
carve
pork
the
rinds,
fat and
son.
gristle off of it and eat that. Actually, no, I take that back. I save it for the end like dessert. I eat the meat and then I save the fat over here for the.
Nah, see, I don't. Nah, I can't do it.
Okay, so why though? Were you
that's
forced
a
to eat
problem,
that as
bro.
a kid or something? Or you
Oh,
just
yeah,
never
what's-
liked it?
What's the nucleus of the concern?
No,
issue here?
I just don't. It's not my thing. I remember as a kid when we would have
Here we
like
go.
barbecue chicken.
Here we go.
You eat the chicken, and then I'm like, oh man, I gotta pull this stringy ass yellow piece of fat off of the meat and separate it.
That's where you messed up. Bro.
No.
And now that I'm grown, I ain't gotta do that.
So what about?
Nobody can tell me to eat it if I don't want to eat it.
That's
So
true. That's true.
Let me get them nugs.
So you go and order chicken nuggets at the steak restaurant?
Call them what you want, but I call them boneless chicken wings.
off the children's menu, right next to the mac and cheese, probably.
Now, so you won't eat like a ribeye?
That wasn't funny?
Not on the bone, just ribeye or New York
No,
or a flank?
no.
No?
Steak tips, yeah.
Wow.
Come on, man. What's the difference?
A whole steak, no.
Really?
No, it's not me.
Like a 24-ounce
How'd you get so big then?
ribeye.
Huh?
You gotta at least be able to bench 400.
Eating people.
You look like you could bench 400 for sure.
I mean, I could pick
What is your bench anyway?
Oh, dude, I haven't been in the gym in, I don't know, I'd probably say like 5 years or so.
What was your heaviest bench? Like when you were just pumping iron in the fucking army, just getting it.
Yeah.
I think the heaviest I was at was like 3 and some
Oh
change.
shit, you hit 3?
Yeah.
All right.
I can still squat.
Did you
up
headbutt
into
motherfuckers
the
when you were done and
threes.
shit? Like,
No.
where's those ribs at?
Boneless. The McRib.
Ooh,
No, I'm not a big steak.
No.
Steak tips, and they have to be from,
A certain place?
yeah, in Girdwood.
Oh.
At the
He knows. You know. Yeah. Off
I
of
got an
Crow
idea.
Creek Road. Yeah. Back
is
there.
it?
Cajun style.
Yeah. I can't say it because they're
oh.
not official sponsors, but if they want me to
Yes.
say the name, you
No,
know.
you can't say it.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
say it. Yep.
Pepper State capital of the world, or what?
Yeah. For a couple dollars, I'll say their name.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Sign up.
Yeah, that's what
Where
I'm
you
saying.
Sign up.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Do you eat there often, Eric?
When friends, family
Okay.
are in town and want to go, for the most part.
You don't
If
just
I'm
run
getting
down
food,
for
I'm
a
going
wedge?
to the brewery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's walk down the road,
Is there
easy.
still only the one brewery?
Yep,
Girdwood
just,
Brewery?
just the one. Yeah, quite
With
the
the rotating
community hub,
truck?
though.
Man.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
a
Is
it really?
spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great
It's beautiful.
beer,
Yeah.
good atmosphere, great people, rotating food trucks too. I mean,
Yep. Yep.
I was there last week, sipping on some booch. Because I don't do beer either.
For our listeners, because I know what booch is, but what is booch?
Oh, kombucha.
Okay.
It's just a
right.
liquid of deliciousness.
It's good.
If you get the right one.
Do they make
Leave
their
its
own,
tea,
or do they
Daniel,
use
so
Zip?
be careful.
Or they use another place?
I
they
think
have
it's Zip. Yep.
Yeah,
Zip.
they have Zip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
they
good
do
stuff.
make their own. I think they make their own root beer, right?
Don't quote me on it, but I do believe you're right.
The
They
root beer
do?
they have
I
is
didn't know
good.
that.
I know
Is it
that.
better than the Moose's Tooth one?
Can I say whatever? Is Moose's Tooth a sponsor? No.
Okay. Never mind.
F-
Let me edit that out.
F Moose's Tooth, man. Shit is so overrated. Oh,
I don't know, man. That Italian.
but I didn't mean that
Sandwich is
Moose's
pretty
Tooth
good.
will take your sponsorship if you want to get on up.
We love the tooth.
I love
We
Yeah.
love the tooth.
Yeah.
Shit.
We love the tooth.
Yeah, yeah. They have a bomb food. It's a Broski's.
You got talking to the mic.
Broski's.
I think it's
his first day.
Brewskis.
Brewskis. That's what it
Yep.
is. The blue one. Man,
What is that? The food
Those-
truck?
Turkish fries.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, God. Yeah, it's a food truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are the food trucks coming from Anchorage? Or are those local Girdwood? I know there's a couple in Girdwood.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that at least 3 of them are like Girdwood food trucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think there's one because they have the way that they park. on the very end is like a rotating one, and they come from all over the place because there's been that angry deckhand or whatever, the sandwich guy,
Hungry deckhands.
deckhands. Yeah, they rotate out of there, but I think the ones that are in Girdwood, if there's no events going on, they're pretty much stationary there, and they do a damn good job over at that brewery with the whole atmosphere. And I'm not even a drinker.
Yeah, that cryo, I love that.
But I'll go up there to chill, just to sit outside by the fire pits, and the food trucks are right there. And in the wintertime, when the snow's falling and they have the overhead
projector?
they got cable, those string lights.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like the
It's
scene
cool
out of
vibe.
a movie. Yeah.
I will
Just
say
great.
that
Yeah.
Alaska, not just Anchorage or Girdwood. I mean, our beer scene is amazing.
Yeah, it's
For
next
sure.
level now.
There's so many cool breweries and more popping up all over the place. Have you been to Cooper Landing one?
Oh yeah, that was
Yes.
another great addition to Cooper Landing for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
stop every time on the way home from the river.
I haven't been there in a while. When I went last time is when they had just opened up. So I don't know what it's like now. I just I've driven past it, and every time I go by, it seems to be pretty crowded. So
Yeah,
It's perfect.
so good for them. But
it's happening, and same thing. They had a food truck there that was regularly, and now they've got a spot slinging food in the brewery. Good eats,
Oh,
and I
nice.
mean, food trucks and breweries. It's a match made in heaven.
Hand in
It
hand.
is.
love it.
Our food truck game has gone up a lot.
Oh,
I remember when there was only like 3,
Sure.
and now there's endless.
they're everywhere.
Well, every summer there's a new one.
yeah.
Oh, there's tons.
Yeah.
There's tons. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Well, I love seeing people just, taking something they're passionate about to another level. And I'm sure the food truck game is very risky because you got to move enough product to make it worth your time and your costs. And honestly, I think a lot of those food trucks, most of the time, they're just hoping to just make cost, right? And then
Oh, it's a tough game.
it's a
for
tough
sure.
Yeah, you're a hot dog stand guy. This is exactly what you do.
Yeah, it's a tough game.
But the fact that you
A lot of
see
rules.
you see more and
believe that.
more of them out there tells you that there's enough pie for everybody to eat because everybody loves eating food in general. But you got folks that are making stuff or we're cooking or doing something behind the scenes just for pleasure, and now they're actually doing it for a business, and it gives them an opportunity. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think the
Goes with beer real well.
the food truck is more, and I could be totally wrong, but what I've noticed is it's more of like a locals thing.
Oh, 100%.
Because the restaurants, and I think that's why the food trucks have kind of like just exploded. Because from what I've noticed is people get tired of eating at these restaurants, right? The same restaurants over and over and over
Of course,
again.
yeah.
And during certain times of the year, the restaurants are overrun with tourists. But what's not overrun is the food trucks.
Yep.
The food trucks that are not in the immediate downtown area. Like if you got to drive there, like the Girdwood,
Double shovel,
Double Shovel,
right?
places like that are off the regular.
Well, you're
tourist
directly
path.
impacting the Alaska economics and helping out Alaska businesses
Right.
and families with every brewery and food truck that you visit. Because those
Right, right.
people
Oh yeah,
all live here.
100%.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why am I gonna go wait 2 hours?
You have a favorite
eat
food
there.
truck?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Ooh, Eric?
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, favorite's hard. I do love the Blue Ristra in Girdwood. That's one of the popular ones. The brewery there. There's a new one in town, Atlas Roman Kitchen, which has been hanging out at Turnagain Brewing and some other places and doing a phenomenal job there. So would definitely
Good eats.
point people that way.
Turnagain
It
Brewing,
depends
I
on
love
my
their stuff.
location.
Yeah, I mean, you could really refine.
I'm an Anchortown Dogs type of guy.
There we
You
go.
could
There we go.
refine your
Ching,
answer.
ching.
Yeah. Does the Talkeetna spinach bread qualify?
No, I hate that.
No, they do. Yeah, they
No,
do some stuff.
I mean, they're
They
they're,
are.
they're, they're
Of
at the
course they
fair,
do.
but I think they're
They're in Talkeetna too sometimes.
Yeah, they're in Talkeetna.
they're
the
in
fair,
Talkeetna. That's where they started.
and I
But
think they have another mobile unit And I don't hate
like
them. I was just saying
like a
that.
food truck.
I just hate that they don't take cards. They take cash only.
Oh man.
Oh man, shit.
That's part of the game.
It's like the
baby.
Bush Company, bro.
Yeah,
Get your
man.
game together, man.
Listen, man. There's
Come
too
on,
many
dude,
people
you
watching.
gotta know-
Venmo you or something,
Yo,
man.
dude,
We don't
when
pay
you-
taxes on that either.
When
Can't
you're at the
hide
collection plate at
credit card.
church, you can't use your card, all right?
At where?
You use the collection plate at church, you can't use your card, all right?
Building struck by
Oh,
lightning.
I
You
bet.
better
Oh,
quit,
they
man.
haven't started that. They just pass along the swipe.
I'm sure,
They don't do that.
sure
do
it's
they?
out there.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been in church in a long time.
Actually,
No.
we'll talk off during the break.
Oh, okay.
Oh, funny story about this. So back in the day, you probably don't know, Tom. A lot of listeners probably do, though. I used to do music. We were one of the biggest
What kind of music?
hip hop music. We used to do a lot of shows around Alaska.
You could say we was rappers.
we was
We
rappers.
was rappers.
And we did a lot of shows everywhere. We went on tours, and one time we were in California, and we're selling CDs on Venice Beach. And this is when the iPod first came out, like the very first iPod.
Damn, that was like a brick.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
But people like we put our music on that, and that literally sold us so many CDs.
What is that, like 2000?
Because we would have it in our hand, and we would have the CDs with us, and we'd be like, "Hey, have you ever heard of Alaska hip hop?" And they'd be like, "Huh?" And then they look at what you have in your hand, and they're like, "Just take 1 second, and just listen." And we'd have it already ready, put it on their ears, play it, and then boom, they'd buy a CD for $5 or $10 or whatever we were selling it for. So that was like helping us make sales because no one was interested in Alaska for one, and then for two, this iPod that was brand new that people were totally like, that was the beginning of the Apple craze. So anyway, we're there, and when you go to Venice Beach, if you've ever been there, there's so many people selling stuff and hustling, and there's homeless people begging and selling things. There was this guy who would wear white, all full white outfit and like a white, like kind of turban-y thing. He had dreadlocks, and he would be on roller skates. And
Love
this
it.
guy was like a famous Venice Beach guy. And as we were there for we were there for like a month, and we would sell, and we'd just peep and watch everyone else's.
You mentioned him before, and I pulled it up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We'd watch other
You can
people's
Google him, it
hustle,
pulls
right?
up.
Like watch how they do it and how the sales, and be like, man, that dude's doing good, And he would sell shirts of himself. It would be a picture of him in his white outfit on his shirt. Okay, Brandon might be.
No, you're
I gotta look it
connected
up.
to the. Yeah, you have
Okay.
to look it up.
Okay, I'll look it up in a second. Let me finish the story. So we thought we were bad,
awesome.
right? Because we had the iPod, and you know what I'm saying? He was even like, oh, man, look at that. Man, you guys, And so I'm watching this guy one time. We're just sitting there, and I'm watching him skate, and he's going up to people, and he has his backpack. And everyone took cash because that's all you could do. And so one time, this couple was like, oh, we don't have cash. All we have is a card. And he's like, oh, no problem. Pulls out this like huge credit card machine that you would see like back in the day, dude. And he was able to swipe, and our eyes were like, no, what? Like, we need one of those, dude. We thought this guy was like homeless. And he pulls out this like huge credit card thing to take things, and no one could say no. After they pulled that out, they're like, oh, okay, we'll take two.
Knock down that wall.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let me try to find this guy.
Well, I feel like it was in the first 5 podcasts we talked about this. Not to like be redundant, but it was. Oh, maybe it was Josh's.
Oh, there he is.
There he is,
There he is, right there. This guy.
And we're gonna bring this back to life because we have a mutual friend.
This guy right here.
Oh,
Did I describe
no.
it pretty good?
Daniel and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she can bring him out of the woodworks.
There's probably another good photo of him that's a little more like old school.
So Victoria Davis, when you hear this,
Harry Perry,
when
dude.
it's released,
Harry Perry. That's him, man. That's him, man.
He was on roller skates.
I bet he's still there. Yeah, he's roller
I was
skating.
just gonna ask.
I guarantee this guy is like, and we didn't know he was so famous. We just seen him because you're there for a while, like we were talking about. When you're out hunting and you get to know your surroundings and your habitat that you're in and the creatures that are around there.
You're plugged in, right?
Yeah, this is one of the guys, man. That he was like, you'd see him every day, man, night to day, just roller skating around.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I always got to give this guy props for his hustle on pulling out that credit card thing, and it was huge. It was massive.
Probably cost him 3.4%, but he's like, I got a sale.
Oh, yeah.
I got a sale.
Eric, any food fears like the rest of us?
Fears. My family would definitely say I was picky growing up, and I would agree. Yeah, we've covered some interesting ground as far as, going back to when I was a kid. There's conversations of, I can't believe I'm saying this, bologna sandwiches.
What?
I took mine with ketchup.
Oh,
that one was just weird. But
That's
after
that's some real white boy shit for sure, dude.
my grandma treated me well.
That's not a white boy shit, dude.
After hearing the current stats around the table, though, I'm thinking I'm pretty good with my lack of pickiness these days. Still not a big broccoli advocate. A little bit of a nemesis growing up. I'll eat it in some food down, and I'll actually even go and buy it and put it in my food. So we're making progress in that relationship.
Right. Well, the fiber, you can't deny it.
I will crush some broccoli.
You feel good about your choices when you eat some broccoli. So
you do. It just that green.
So good.
Throw a little green in there. You're good.
Dude, let me tell you. How do you eat your broccoli?
I like it.
Like this.
Just like
this nose plug.
Yeah, there you go. Nose plug.
Eyes closed. I don't even know what I'm eating right now.
Definitely not steamed. Lightly cooked or sautéed in a dish.
Okay, go home. Not tonight. Sometime this week. Get some broccoli. Okay.
Don't you steal this from me.
What?
Just keep going. Because I was about to steal it from you, baby. But you go.
Lay it out on a pan. Put some foil on the pan, and then put the broccoli on top of it.
That's fine.
Okay. And then like a bowl, mix up some soy sauce, some honey, some sesame seeds. More soy than honey because you don't want it super sweet. Mix it up, pour it on top of the broccoli, throw it in the oven. Like 350, 400 until it's like
crisp it up.
Yeah.
Crispy on the edges. Then text me and tell me.
Not bad.
I can picture it. It's a pretty good sight, actually. We'll give that one a try.
Telling you.
Well, I think you have a texture issue with your broccoli if you're talking about the steaming part, because then it gets mushy, and it still tastes like broccoli. That don't change.
Yeah.
But when you add that mushiness to it, it is pretty shitty. I'll eat it because it's helps you poop. But I would tell you, if you have an air fryer at home.
Yeah.
Please tell me you have an air fryer.
I do not. Limited space on my counter for such devices.
Yeah, you should see my counter. It's
all the devices.
There is no space.
There's no counter.
Fucking toasters and coffee makers and the shit's stacked on top.
Air fryer is
air fryer. Okay, you don't have an air fryer, so you can't do this. But if you go get a little mini air fryer, are you single? Are you a married guy?
I got a girlfriend.
Do you live with her? Are you by yourself in your own place?
We have separate places. She's doing a lot of traveling right now.
So you would get the mini air fryer.
Oh, okay.
If you do, because there's two sizes, right? You clean it. You trim it off. Clean it up real good. All right. Spray it with Pam. Dust of salt and pepper. Fire up your air fryer, 450 air fry. Get it preheated. Pull it out. Spray the inside of your air fryer. Dump your broccoli in. About every 45 seconds to a minute, you grab it and shake it. And cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes. Gets it nice and crispy. Best damn broccoli you've ever had. Makes it like crunchy chips, like popcorn almost.
I like broccolini more than broccoli.
Oh, man.
Me too. It's less of a commitment.
What is that again?
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like broccoli, but it's thinner and it's longer stalk.
Sophisticated
broccoli. Y'all are fucking
that broccolini with some mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I like broccoli.
You're posing to me that, man.
Shit is good.
And you probably had it with a steak, didn't you?
No.
Chicken nugs.
Boneless, skinless thighs.
Man, I thought you were going to say something. I'm going to admit, Eric, I like you so far. But
I'll take it.
Your fear was broccoli? Come on, man.
That's every kid's fear.
And if you would have put the mayo with the ketchup and the bologna sandwich, you would have taken next fucking level, dude.
Yeah, that'd be something. I'm sure my food world can expand in a lot of ways. So obviously, there's some things I could
Yeah.
potentially be scared about in the future. But I mean, I guess I should go find out.
Does anybody care what I don't like?
Yeah, I was about to ask you. We've gone around the table, but we skipped you. So
Thank you. I do want to say, I hate sloppy joes. Fucking hate them.
damn, what the fuck did they do to you?
I know. I know.
Wait.
Not on the
Homemade,
bone.
or are you talking
No,
about
I'm
the
talking
manwich
about
out of the can?
manwich shit can.
Yeah, the man. You know, you can't do that, man.
Oh, you can do it homemade for me too. I mean, today I'll eat one with mayonnaise on it.
You have to put.
I'm not kidding. I open the bun and
You have to put
it's already falling all over the
A
place,
bun.
making a mess. It's got to have some white cream in it.
bun, sloppy Joe, mayo,
Okay, now we're talking.
a slice of cheese,
Oh shit.
then the bun on
We're
top
talking
of that.
cheddar.
Cheddar.
Okay, well that's
Yes.
Do you call that a sloppy Joe anymore? Or do we just call that Joe? A Joe.
Eat sloppy joes either.
That's just my one thing growing up. When Mom made a sloppy Joe, I was like, damn, Moms, I eat every single thing you put in front of me. But yet you still make this damn thing every 3 months. Like, fucking
Popping that can open,
choke
huh?
that shit down. Go make a peanut butter and jelly.
Ooh, I hate that with a passion.
Peanut butter and jelly?
Oh my
What?
God, that
you-
shit is gross.
Man.
Adrian, we've got to have a conversation off
Yeah,
the
man.
mic.
I don't do I don't
mean,
do peanut butter and jelly at all.
What?
Cause I've
So-
been like having a bromance with you, and then now
Yeah,
these
man.
things are starting to reveal. I'm starting to kind of like,
Yeah, man.
the fuck.
So I don't do. I don't. I'm surprised you haven't even noticed. But
matter with you.
nah, man, I don't do sweet and savory. I don't like my shit to mix at all.
Kettle corn's out too.
Fuck that. I don't know why
dude.
people
Talk-
would even eat that. I don't eat
delicious.
sweet popcorn.
That's a sample you keep going back for.
No,
Fresh kettle corn.
You get the like 4 foot
Savory.
bag at the fair, man, and bring that bitch home, dude.
trash
Did I see my neighbor?
Gotta shovel
I
that
see
in.
my neighbor's
ranch.
son come. He don't live there no more, but you could tell he just stopped by his parents' house to drop something off. And I wasn't being nosy; I just happened to be in the driveway and watched him pull up. And he had 4 bags of those like 4 foot
Kettle
Yeah,
corn?
tubes
Yeah,
of the kettle
your
corn.
ass
from the
was
fair.
like this between
Driving, I
the
was like,
blinds,
damn,
man.
they love some damn kettle corn over there.
There's nothing like, man, when it's freshly done,
Oh, hot.
oh my
All
goodness.
right. What else
It's
is
so
it? Weird thing?
I don't do sweet and savory. Like,
Oh, that's right.
yeah, I don't like my food to mix. I don't like it to touch.
So no
When I
peanut
eat,
butter
I
and
eat
jelly.
all of one thing at a time.
Did you do prison
Oh
time?
no!
Like I don't. Yeah, man, it's one big.
Oh no, dude!
What's up?
You do the portion thing where you just eat your mashed potatoes and then your broccolini.
Do you go
and then
clockwise,
you eat your
too?
ribs? Like
I don't go
separate?
in the order. I just eat it. Huh?
You don't like mix? Like
No,
like
man.
my plate has like there's a last bite of everything, and like I'm eating it all at the same time. I'm bringing all the flavors in that whole experience in one thing.
No,
I am not just like steak, carrots,
no, because I mean,
peanut butter and jelly. Like no, I don't.
I mean,
would never do that.
I know how to cook,
Yeah.
so my
Alright.
food tastes good. So I like to enjoy
That's-
everything.
That is truth.
That's true. We can't
is
deny
true.
I
good
like to
cooking.
enjoy.
So on that note, let's talk about the mayor's salsa, man. What, dude? Is that shit? Is that legit? Are we going? We going retail? I mean, what are you trying to do?
Go to the Alaska. I don't even know what it's called, but
Well, we got to tell
today
people
I
where to
filed
find
for
it.
the old LLC. Got an old business license.
Oh shit!
Yep, cost you a pretty penny.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
No.
The only thing I got to do now is get business insurance on the record. Probably gonna ride dirty.
Tell
Get
the
it at
world
your
You
own
never
risk.
know. Someone could sue you, but like, it didn't say hot. You didn't say it's hot.
You order it. The box is gonna have a postcard in it. It says, "Eat at your own risk. We don't have insurance."
There you go.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
actually the shit.
Well, I
we
will
eat.
say this: I took those jars that you gave me, 3-4 of them out on the
Yep.
hunt. They got mopped up in one day. We like to take tortilla chips or flour things and make our own our chips
Was
out
that
there.
homemade?
Dang.
Yeah, we make our own chips out there.
Yeah,
That's so good,
I saw that. We're gonna have to
Damn.
talk
Next
offline.
level.
We're gonna have to,
dude. That's the way to roll because they're hard and you can just you can scoop all
Just
that
get
up.
hold half a
And
jar in there.
my one uncle who's from Soldotna, he makes his own salsa too, and he's been bragging about it, and it's pretty good. It's vinegary. It's like the Colombian style. But But him and my other uncle, he's 70-something, had many salsas in his
These are
life.
some graybeard grizzled uncles.
Grizzled,
too.
Spanish, been eating hot
They
stuff
know good
forever.
food. Yeah.
And he gave that to him. I said, "Oh, this is my buddy's." And then my other uncle's like, "It's probably not. It's mine." And he took 3 bites of that thing. He's just like, and I sent you the video. Best salsa he said he ever had in his life.
That was my reaction too.
Have you had it?
No, I haven't.
During the break, we'll crack one open.
Crack
Get some
one open.
bites.
Looking forward to that.
I mean, I love Gallo's salsa. I love Hacienda salsa. They're all homemade. You can tell they're homemade.
Hacienda's is good.
Hacienda's good. Serrano's has good salsas, hot sauces. Even was it Pedro's sauce at 907? Pretty good. It's hot sauce, not salsa now. Different category. Hot sauce, salsa. I think is different. But that one batch you made and you gave us in the pint jars. I mean,
The roll and smoke.
roll and smoke. I couldn't stop eating it. I was like, the smoky flavor with salsa was something that like smacked my taste buds that I didn't even know what to think other than just keep plowing because it was so delicious, dude.
Have you ever done
I'm not a salsa guy.
the
either.
tortilla thing that I did?
Right.
Have you ever done
Oh
that?
my god, that would probably.
So you could
set
do it
it
with
off.
flour or corn. So you'll just take, I like to do it with flour. It's better to get a little bit more crispy.
Yeah,
And you just go to Costco and buy the pack or wherever, Fred Meyer's cars. And you just take that and cut it into 4, or take the whole pack and just cut it into 4 so there's nice big triangles. Put whatever you want to do, whatever kind of vegetable oil or whatever oil you want in a little cast iron on your little thing when you're camping. Just so start tossing them on there, flip it once it gets golden brown, add a little bit of salt. The best chip you've ever had.
100%.
It's so good. The
I've
corn
done it
is good, but
before.
the flour ones are like a little sweeter.
Yeah, no,
And
I
they
like
can
it with
dip.
corn because obviously that's what those are.
Juanitas,
But
uh-huh.
when it's homemade and it's flour,
Oh,
especially when they're hot, and you get the one with that good hot salt on there.
yeah, and the bubble.
It's
The one
all
that has the
stuck
bubble.
Yeah,
with
the
it.
bubble.
Well, that's got a more authenticity flavor to it, doesn't it? Is it?
Authentic flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
I think I made up a
flour
word there,
is
but-
a little bit thicker, so it holds
Yeah.
better. Like it scoops.
Yeah, it's like a scoop that you like your Fritos. You can just really,
Yeah, you can
Oh,
you're not
yeah.
going to break it,
Yeah.
Good payload.
Yeah,
that's right.
good
And that's
word.
why I tend to eat salsa with Frito scoop.
Where it's
It
it
just-
spills off the side, but it's still just like a full.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised, man. One of those little packs, I mean, that's going to fill 5. That's a lot of chips.
Right.
Yeah, it's really
Oh, I
good.
bet.
It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah,
Shout out to Scotty Peters. He's the one that put me on that. He would do that every year when we go to Anchor Point to go for Memorial. So shout out to Scotty. on
Fry
that.
up some tortilla chips.
Yep, that was his thing. He
Yeah,
just
we need
sit
to
there.
take that. We need to take that to the next level too. That's good shit.
I mean,
I'm just saying, I'll make the salsa, you make the chips. We start slinging this on the side.
Oh, okay. All right. We can talk.
serious benefit in the backcountry with that method too, because I mean, if you've tried to schlep tortilla chips into the backcountry, you wind up with just a pile of crumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too good for dipping. I mean, making your own chips. That's
Yeah, and they
Burlap.
pack
Never
well.
even
They're
thought
not going
about
to
it.
break. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And if they do,
I'm
they just
sold.
turn into chips. It's really good. Yeah, it's amazing.
For us, we don't like broken chips. But if you ask Tyler,
Has
that's
one
the way to
ever
eat 'em is
taken
broken?
chips and salsa into the backcountry?
I mean, that's kind of like a standard on my float trips.
Okay, float
Really?
trips. All right, nice.
Yep, have an enchilada dinner. Have some
Ooh.
chips and salsa while you're
Yeah.
waiting for it to cook.
Oh, nice.
What do you
Bit of
transport your
pre-mixed
salsa in?
margaritas.
Shit.
I actually, well, I need to get some mayor salsa. Clearly,
Yes.
That's for sure.
honestly, I'm rocking cans. As in the just kind of like peel off the top.
Okay.
Okay.
Can escape the glass?
Yeah.
Yes. No glass in the boat.
Nope.
They
no
have
glass
salsa in
the
a can?
boat. Yeah,
glass
actually,
in the
it's
boat.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be
not
my
too
rule,
shabby.
too.
I mean,
Even
maybe
though
it's
those are really difficult to break.
Yeah.
That glass. And you
Pretty
can
impressive.
recycle it.
Look at those gears turning, dude. Look at
Brand
that. It's like the
I want to
hamster
get.
wheel.
I want to
It's
get
just
into
like-
floating. I'm a big time raft guy. My raft actually took a disastrous, catastrophic seal break. This year, so I'm buying a new
my
raft.
condolences. Well, that's exciting at least.
I am.
Yeah, that is
I am.
exciting.
I'm very excited. I know what I want. all the research anyone in the world could ever possibly do. I talked to every single person and looked at every website and video.
Had a specialist on the podcast.
Yes, we did. The Raft Connection. Thank you, Brian Richardson. If you haven't listened to that one, you should listen to that one. You know who Brian
on my drive home.
You know who Brian is?
No, I don't.
He owns Raft Connection. This guy is a wealth of knowledge.
Sweet.
Since 1992, he's had it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Renting rafts, fixing rafts, just knows rivers and rafts and materials and plastics and all that. Just one of those guys. You just, my gosh, dude.
Totally.
So, yeah, I had an Alaskan Outfitter raft. I thought I had seen one of those in your picture. Great PVC boat. Lasted me about 10 years. And then this summer I was with my parents and my kids and my wife on the Middle Kenai. Did fine, got back to the trailer, and then the seam split on 2 places. And just, I was like so happy it didn't happen on the river.
I was about to say, man.
It could have been catastrophic.
That's the best place for it to happen. I mean,
totally.
If the seam's going to blow out, like,
didn't nobody fix it? You can't fix that.
Yeah, I had the same experience with a Alaskan raft too. I mean, fortunately, just on the Willow.
Yeah.
It was a learning lesson for me, being kind of newer on my time on the sticks. But fortunately, just had to row out a few miles, and we weren't out in the backcountry. But unfortunately, it was the demise of that raft. But
yeah, it's unfortunate. I did save, and if anyone listening, I did save the D-rings. I did save the floor. I saved the all the hardware, the nozzles, everything.
Oh, there's so many accessory.
So if anyone needs anything like that, and you have one of those rafts, eventually you're gonna need something. Just let me know. I'll hook you up, man. I didn't want it to go to waste, especially those floors, because after talking to a bunch of people, I guess those really go out, and that's like $1,000. So I'll hook you up for free if you need it. Let me know.
good move.
What raft are you rocking now?
I have an Air Super Puma.
The orange one?
The orange one, yeah.
Yeah,
it's,
those are awesome.
Oh, it's, I mean, kind of like it's not necessarily the Cadillac around here as far as carrying a bunch of stuff and comfort, but it's, a little zippy sports car.
Yeah, those are
squeezed
nice.
between the log jams and the rocks.
Nice and narrow.
I'm sold.
Real nimble.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
I do that same little
Yeah, those are awesome.
move with the oars too. Yep.
If I didn't have the whole family,
Yep.
I'd probably go with that. I do a lot of big float moose trips and big stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with the Otter,
Yep.
NRS Otter Expedition, 14 foot. Just
Can't go wrong.
can't go.
the big
that
house.
just, yeah, man. I can't. But I got to order it. It's gonna take I don't know how long, but
At that size, is that still one you can kind of manhandle across ripples?
14
you had
foot?
to drag it.
oh yeah, my other
Okay.
raft was a 14 foot.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought that was larger.
Yeah, same.
Is that about as big as you want to go?
Me,
I mean,
as
it's
big
a
as I want to
preference,
go,
right?
because I
But-
can handle it on my own. I mean, if you're doing big, a lot of times they say the 16 foot for the big expedition trips is better. But
Where
then,
you probably know you're not going to drag it, though.
yeah, well,
go with the big boat,
no,
right?
you're just gonna be dragging all the time, depending on where you go. But as far as me, like if I want to just go, me and my wife or me and my son, I want to be able to
Right.
do it myself.
Oh, right. Okay.
I don't need someone to like, hey, come give me a hand, put this on the trailer,
Because it's so big and heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like a good versatile size. You can float a smaller creek. You can drag over log if you need.
Yeah.
You can also take, more than just one other passenger.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, it'd be nice to have a few rafts.
Well, yeah.
I do have some one mans, but I really like those little small ones, those little 2-man ones. The Pumas are awesome.
Yeah, there's quite a few options now.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a few of those. Because if you just have the big one, then you always got to take the big one. But
Yeah, I finally decided I think I'm in the pack-raft world.
oh, you should.
So I don't even know. I mean, Alpaca.
That's the one.
Barney Sports Chalet, they sell alpacas. Like, I mean, that's after doing a little bit. I'm not a geek either. I just look at a few things. Like, okay, alpaca is definitely, Barney sells them. They sell top quality gear. Sponsor Alaska Wild Project, and that aside, they sell quality gear. They don't mess around. They sell the shit that they get behind. And I thought, okay, I started looking around on the open market, in the thought of recycling equipment, right? Like, I want to go buy something new, but if someone's got something lightly used or a decent price used, and they're getting rid of it, I'll take that off their hands. They're still really expensive.
They are.
So I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Like,
But they're still even good, the older ones. I mean, people are buying new ones because
of course,
slightly better this or that
lighter,
on it.
Yeah.
But those old ones are just as legit.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but it
think
comes to a
that's
certain
next.
point when you're looking and, like you said, even say you're on Marketplace, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking too. Yeah.
And the Joker's like 2 years old, and you're like, well, fuck. I could spend $200 more. And
Oh,
just go to
yeah,
Barney.
I mean,
like,
Yeah.
Sometimes these cats are a little ridiculous.
No, it has
Yeah.
to be, the price has to be
Right. And you're
Well,
like,
I
oh,
was
shit,
just
so-
thinking, like, man, could I get a pack-raft for like $500? And I'm like, no.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's
I mean, you
exploded.
can.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
it did.
You know, used market doesn't really exist anymore. Even just like the used raft market around town, like it used to, I think be a little bit more favorable. But everyone's getting rafts out on the water right now, which is beautiful. But it makes it a little bit harder to score yourself a Craigslist deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to just be on it and in the market and find the right guy.
Right.
And I've seen some of the other brands, and so I like save it, and then I'll go back 3 weeks later. I'm like, still for sale? I'm like, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't it gone? Like, why for that price, $600? Like, why is that thing? Forgot the brand of it, and I'm only going to use it maybe one time, and I may not even use it at all. So, but I also know about the rule of good quality gear: buy once, cry once. Like,
Yeah.
do you get the Alpaca or do you get the,
Alpaca?
the Alpaca, and the fucking thing blows the seam and you can't get back across the river with the caribou, right? So then you're going like, well, that thing would have been every bit worth another $600 all day long to get me back home.
I just keep my one man.
The
and then
Alpaca.
let everybody else buy the other stuff. And I'm like, yo, let's go.
Oh, that little one man. So you can
Yeah, I
do
got a
360s
little.
and shit?
The Costco one?
Sportsman's Warehouse.
No,
Fish
it's
cat?
it's a fish cat panther.
Oh, yeah.
It's a double.
Yeah, I had two of those.
Yeah.
Then the same week that my other raft that blew a seam, I had set it up because my wife was mowing the lawn, and I moved it into a weird place, and it got too much sun, and I hadn't taken any of the air out because I took it somewhere with my kids, and boom, it just burst the thing, and it wasn't. So I ended up taking the good one from the one, and the good one from the other one, and made one.
Dude, like
2 rafts.
So I got extra frame for that too. Anyone listening? And
but
extra too.
the pontoon blew.
Yeah, the whole seam, the outer seam and the inner tube got like a weird bubble.
Oh,
because I had set it up on the fence like this, and it must have been in the sun, and it was done.
Well, you get that western sun.
And I had that thing for like 15 years, and
the
That's
original
one
I
mistake.
got it busted because those ones are thick,
super thick.
and they're held together with the zippers.
Yeah.
Huh.
Those are really nice. I used to do the Kenai all the time with those.
Yeah,
That's
I've
a
done
lot
it.
of fun. I call it a little river Porsche.
Nice. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they be scooting.
All right.
Those jokers scoot.
What's some rivers you've done? Have you done Gulcana?
I do Gulcana. I try and do it annually. It doesn't always end up being annual, but I mean, batting average is pretty good on it. I mean, that's a personal favorite for sure.
Yeah. Fishing's excellent. I love the Gulcana.
Yeah, and I mean, you get away from the crowds. I mean, we usually go in the fall, and sometimes we're not seeing anyone, and it's incredible.
That's great.
Yeah, and
that's great.
I mean, when you can get out on the river and be gone away from phones for
It's the best.
5, 6, 7 days, it's one of the best ways to spend time in my books. I'm definitely known to be on the Kenai during sockeye season, and particularly in the fall. Definitely a fan of Willow. And any chance I can get my raft out in some of the remote rivers, I'm trying to do that too. So,
you got one in mind that's on the bucket list?
Bucket list. I really want to get up in the Arctic.
Cool
More.
book?
I'm open to options. Yeah, I keep hearing of more. So
Nice.
I mean, near term though, Eklutna's top of the list.
Oh, nice.
That is on my top of the list too, man. Every time I drive by it, I just drove by it. Like
The towel?
the Eklutna, and I know several people that have done it, so I know what to do, where to go, and how to do it.
Not to correct, but it might be the Chulitna coming.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Oh,
Chulitna.
yeah.
Oh, you're talking the Chulitna.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one too.
Chulitna.
Into
Yep, flying.
the Squetna.
Yep. Eklutna, though, also haven't done it. Also high on the list because that's like the other roadside accessible.
Yes.
Get on the river for the days.
Great views. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eric, the towel. So you also known as the towel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fly in, float down to the Eklutna to get picked up, or would you float all the way out the Yetna to the Sioux and do the whole damn thing?
I haven't done it yet, so I'm not the authority. I think there's a couple options. I think primarily, though, people are putting on up top, floating down, and getting picked up on the Eklutna.
Okay.
Yeah, which quite the change going from the towel to the Eklutna.
I bet.
More of a beast. I've heard some stories of just some pretty dynamic water happening there.
Oh, for sure.
So, and I know it's a bit of a spicy float with some pretty committed canyons.
Yeah.
Because there's a canyon that cuts you off at the jet boat. You can run up there, and then you can't. I mean, there's this canyon that cuts you off, and I hear it's got some
fun part.
It's got some elevation change.
Well, hopefully I'll be back one day sharing stories from it. But
cool.
Yeah, I mean,
great fishing too, man.
High reward when you're in places like that and earning it, working for it.
That Nenana I want to do too.
I mean, that would
that
be
one's some,
oh, hell
I was
yeah, dude.
really
Too.
researching it like a couple days ago.
Yeah, you got any favorite floats?
I mean, my all-time favorite is the Upper Kenai. I love the Upper Kenai. It's pretty much where I didn't say learn, but where I go the majority of the time.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, that's just right there. I love it. I love camping up
one-day
there
trip.
on the river. The Golcana is great. I like to do that Big Sioux from Talkeetna to Rabideau. Have you done that?
I have not.
It's a little intimidating the first time you do it because it's you're on the Talkeetna and you just get busted on that huge raging Susitna. But once you get on it, you're like, oh man, there's so much room. I go
it's not that crazy.
There's sandbars all over the place. I mean, it's scary at first, but that's if it's a beautiful day, could be the best view of Denali when you're on that river.
That's like day float.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's only like 2 hours.
All right.
Turn it into 4 hours.
And you
for
park at
lunch,
the bridge at Rabideau, and then you roll up to Talkeetna, and the launch is right there.
Oh yeah, okay.
And go there, and they'll spit you right out there, and then you can't miss the exit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Was that fucking Sioux just raged out though?
Oof, every river was raged out.
Oh my goodness, dude! Memorial weekend, we went. Labor Day weekend, excuse me.
Yeah.
North, past the Talkeetna and past the Sioux. I've never seen the water that far in the woods.
Yeah, it was raging.
I mean, it was that whole Rabideau
There's nothing.
camping area and like all water.
Yep.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
Could not freaking believe it.
Yeah, it was really. All those rivers are high.
Yeah, I wondered how guys did that had float hunting plans and late season fishing plans and.
Well, a lot of that time, sometimes if you're doing like a moose float, like when we've done, I don't really want to say it here, but we've done some up north where we go moose hunting. It's preferred that the water's high because there's so many shallow parts and you're so heavy with all your gear. It's like, man, we hope the water's up because
and then the
way less
campsites are high
drag.
enough anyway that it doesn't matter how high the river
but that's
is,
the
right?
downfall.
Oh.
Is a lot of times you're not going to get those sandbars and some of those places where you normally camp because it's just filled up with water. But you're moving a lot quicker,
Right.
Yeah. So pros and cons there. Kobuck's on my list. I got a bunch on my list. They're all on my list.
I mean, the more I think about it, the longer it's getting.
Yeah.
There's worse problems to have.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you got a new raft coming too, which I'm sure you did all the geek out on, like what's the most packable and, throwing an airplane and blah, 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 blah.
All of it. I did it all.
Yeah.
I love doing that stuff. Let's take a quick break. We'll
Do
be
it,
right
man.
back.
Yeah.
Deal.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters and outdoor enthusiasts with the highest quality gear and equipment since they opened their doors in 1963. Barney's carries exclusive brands such as Alpaca Rafts, Sitka, Sims, Exo Mountain Gear, Hilleberg, and much more. Barney's prides themselves with keeping a huge stock on hand of various top-of-the-line tents, footwear, sleeping bags, optics, cross-country skis, just to name a few. Barney's is also the exclusive retailer of Montana knives, Seek Outside, Kafaru, Stone Glacier, and their in-house brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska. Barney's has a superior selection of top-rated boots, sleeping bags, dry bags, mountaineering gear, electronics, and accessories. Need freeze-dried food or mountain snacks? They got that too. Barney's now has an amazing new paperback catalog available for in-store pickup or online order. Visit them today at barneysports.com, or even better, stop by the store in Anchorage at 906 West Northern Lights. If you want the best, there's only one name in the game, Barney's Sports Chalet.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaska public lands, waters, and wildlife. From national level policy work to engagement with boots on the ground projects from Kotzebue to Ketchikan. BHA performs public land cleanups, hunting and fishing clinics, and community education to help take your game to the next level. BHA's community-minded goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping wildlands wild and fostering the next generation of sportsmen and women for years to come. Make sure to follow BHA Alaska for upcoming events, local brewery pint nights, and more. Stand up for Alaska public lands and waters by supporting the Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. Join us today at backcountryhunters.org.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. When you pull up to the Treehouse, you'll notice the beautifully hand-drawn art by Alaska's own Ted Kim. Once you get inside, you're going to see many of the same people that have been there since they opened. The bud tenders know you and what you like and what new product you should be checking out. The store is super clean and the music's always on point. The Treehouse and local owner Josh Boots is a staple in the cannabis culture through his music, community givebacks, and a lifetime desire to bring the people of Alaska the best products available. The Treehouse always has at least 25 strains available, and they're all shown prominently deli style in clear, openable jars so you can see and smell your options. Other products include edibles, concentrates, vape carts, pre-rolls, flour, dab rigs, and anything else you need, they got it. They also have some pretty sick merchandise for sale. Check out thetreehouseak.com, or better yet, stop by the Treehouse today and get started on their loyalty program. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
Got a little bite to it. Yeah, man, that's good. It's funny.
Sorry, we were eating.
Came back in this year, just I'm like, yes. Wasted no time with the salsa.
It's delicious. I'm ready for another salsa and chip break.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait a little bit now, bro. Sorry.
Yep.
I can earn it.
Oh, yeah.
Got some
We'll have
butterflies.
another break.
We got a good start going here, man. Doing great, Eric.
Just to finish off on the Raft the River thing, I always tell people to, whenever they're new, to start at that portage.
Yeah.
I think that's a great, starting, if you're going to learn, it's short, it's a sunny day, you're close to town.
Not a lot of hazards.
Not too many hazards. You go to the lake, get your bearings, and then just go to the highway there. That's
I mean, first, when I bought my first raft, that very same day went and...
Right there?
Yep, launched on portage.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a little jog through some rocks, and then, smooth sailing, hot sunny day, take a dip in some of those bins.
Yep.
Yep.
Perfect.
I mean, one of my favorite things with that and some of the other rivers, too, is the bike shuttle. Get the raft set up, go park the rig, ride the bike back.
Yep.
Oh, you
Jump
can
on
do
in.
that.
Well, that's always the main, I wouldn't say issue, but something you got to think about. Like, you got to have a way to get back to the starting point.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
if you put your trailer at the end or your truck at the end, you got to get back to the beginning, especially if you're just going one person.
Oh.
So, as we were discussing the Nenana thing with me and my brother, we're like, oh man, dude, someone's gonna have to park way. That's gonna take a long time.
There's a day committed just to the logistics of getting a truck dropped and then going back up.
So a lot of people
Add
do
a
what
day
Eric's
to it.
saying. They'll bring their bike
Okay.
and then they'll just ride back up, and then on the way back out, you'll just pick up the bike.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have seen some dudes at gyms in Cooper Landing on the Kenai strip off their waders, put on their running shoes, and
just
start
hit it.
running. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm a big fan of just throwing the thumb out there, man.
Yeah.
Especially up there. That's just normal. I give so many people rides. You give people rides. You get rides.
isn't that an unwritten rule? I mean, even if you're not fishing, and you frequent the area, don't you stop and like, hey, jump in real quick. Let me get this guy a ride.
Yeah.
Because you know you've been that guy.
100%.
Or gal or whoever.
100%.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Bet you've been a lot lizard before, huh?
A lot lizard? What is that? A lot lizard?
I've heard of that.
What is that?
You never heard of a lot lizard?
I have, but I don't know what it is.
Man, let me truck stops.
Truck stops?
Yeah, lot lizards, man. They come knocking on the trucker's door.
And asking for stuff?
A lot lizards.
Oh,
Seedy underside of the truck stop.
yeah. Okay.
Eric knows what's up. Okay. That wasn't the lot lizard I was thinking about until you said that, but now I get it. It sounds slimy. Yikes.
Yeah, I didn't do the Gold Canada this year. I was planning on go with the whole family. They haven't gone. We do an annual boys trip, but now everyone's got kids, so it's turned into a family deal. And my son had like baseball tournament or something, so we couldn't do it. But next year it's on because he's.
I mean, beautiful family thing though.
Oh yeah,
sure.
100%.
See a lot of
100%.
families out there. I started doing it with a family too, and I mean, pretty much watched a boy go from being 11 and just starting to learn to row, and then all of a sudden he's rowing his dad the whole way and greasing the canyon and I mean, really, really cool to watch.
That's where I'm at. My son's 12 and
he's
I've
ready.
been teaching him because I was like, I need to fish. Like I cannot just oar the whole time.
Benefits for you too.
Yeah, someone else has to oar, so I can fish.
Well, and I may have said it before. I feel like, what if you pull a back muscle or something goes awry?
Yeah.
Because, you're a spring chicken for now, but, later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But no, I mean, you never know. Something goes wrong. You got to have somebody to back you up.
Yep.
You know, or what if you get sick or just something injured?
I have. I did. I got really sick actually on a moose hunt. I've told it before, but just
the vid.
for you. Yeah, I got the vid bad on a moose hunt day 2. We still had 112 miles ago.
Yeah.
And it was miserable oaring all that, and then just in the tent all night, and then having to oar another 12, 13, 15 miles and for a week straight. Oh man, not recommended.
Pretty miserable.
Not
Yeah,
recommended.
just awesome moose hunt.
Yeah, not recommended at all. I want to jump into that Girdwood life a little bit. How long have you been out there?
I moved to Girdwood in December 2021.
Okay.
The day before the mountain opened, unloaded my stuff in an apartment, and then was out skiing POW the next day. It was a lovely welcome.
Yeah, that seems to be a big passion of yours, the skiing.
Skiing, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it was, I think, my first true love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been on skis since I was 4.
Oh, shit.
And certainly, definitely one of my primary activities.
Definitely one of the things that has seen a lot of improvements.
Yeah.
As far as boots, skis, materials, all that stuff.
The gear's progressed in a lot of ways, and I mean, there's a lot of people getting into the sport now, which is great.
Yes.
And they do have a lot of technological advantages, and I think that's awesome. I mean, I definitely grew up on the straight skis and
the thin
struggling.
elons.
Struggling through POW, and I feel
Still
like
loved it, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, thankful for skiing, also thankful for being able to kind of watch the progression of the technology. And I mean, twin tips sure made it a sweet and rad sport again.
It made it cool
and
to
really,
go back to skiing because as I grew up skiing as a young guy, and I had the little skinny skis, and it was difficult on the POW days, and then snowboarding came, and and went to snowboarding, and then the skis got so cool, I want to go back to skiing.
Yep.
Because it's like, man, now there's so many cool things that you could do with the skis, the skins and the different clips and like you said, the both edges, and man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at this picture right here. So I grew up skiing as well. But just like everybody else, back in our days, we didn't have double tip skis. If you go backwards, you're not going very far because it's digging in,
Oh, yeah.
And
double tip, so it's
Yeah, so you
Both
can,
sides.
yeah,
Oh,
on both
okay.
sides, so you can essentially ski backwards, and spin and everything else.
That's how you can ski back. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And back in the day, so to speak, this might have been going on to a certain extent, but it wasn't as prevalent and I don't know what the word is, but the way it is right now.
Popular?
Popular.
Yeah.
As it is right now. And just to see how much the sport has progressed
And advanced.
in that in that short time frame, because if you think about it, it's not a long
No.
time frame. It's been short.
Yeah, it has, like
it's just
50,
kind of mind
20
blowing
years.
to see it happening.
But it also has gotten expensive.
It's expensive. It's
Yep.
not cheap.
Because I remember back in the day, we would
Isn't
go hit
everything
Alyeska
expensive?
all day for $25.
Yeah.
Yeah, lift
Now,
tickets
what
and
is
all
it
that.
now?
Well, I mean,
90?
it's even got. I think it surpassed triple digits. This past year, it's gotten more expensive.
Yeah.
And in my lifetime, I've definitely watched it get more expensive in Colorado. I grew up, show up and there was a beginner lift that was free. I mean, what a great way to get people into the sport.
Yeah,
Lift tickets were
totally.
definitely sub 50.
Yeah.
You could actually make the drive to the mountains in a reasonable manner and have yourself a good day. And now it's long lift lines, expensive tickets.
It's a
if
$500
you're-
weekend now, right?
Yeah, if you're not on the road at 5 a.m., you're late.
Yeah. Yep.
I
You're going to be in
bet,
line.
man.
Are you telemarking?
I am not a telemark skier.
Oh, okay.
I did have a brief telemark foray, and it was beautiful. Really enjoyed dipping the knee in the pow. But the fun days were the powder days, and that's when I kind of wanted to have my heel locked and skiing hard.
and float it out.
Yeah.
Because I think this picture, are those telemark skis?
Yeah, that's my buddy Adam. He's still a diehard telemark skier, and I love him for it.
Is that the homie at the top? We got a picture up.
Yeah, the homie on the bottom going down the rope is Adam, the telemark skier.
Oh,
Buddy
okay.
up top is Ben, not
All right.
a telemark skier.
They look like they're having an awesome day.
Yeah, this was an awesome day. This was actually in the
beautiful.
Swiss Alps.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Damn.
Cool.
Nice.
The snow was terrible. The views were great. The
Oh, sure.
company was great.
Was that spring? And it was crusty?
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was late March, and I think it was the
Yeah.
worst year that the Alps had in 100 years.
Oh, wow.
Not what you anticipate when you, or not what you're hoping for when you book.
Yeah.
A trip
year,
like that.
A year in
Oh,
advance.
shit.
Yeah,
Or two.
That's
But-
that's
And you
Mother
booked
Nature.
the one time they
That's
had
how it goes.
Yeah.
shitty snow.
Like the people that visit Alaska this summer. Sorry.
Yep.
Damn.
No,
It's always
I get
rain.
it. Yeah, 100%.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, though, even on you get skunked on a fishing trip or have a tough time on a hunt. You went out there to go have fun, to be with people and have an experience. So
Absolutely,
you're still
man.
getting
Yeah.
some great stuff out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that,
That is
I
true.
mean, that was that trip for sure.
Just bring a puffy jacket.
Well, yeah,
Bring a
always.
puffy jacket. Bring
I've
a
never
puffy
seen so
jacket.
many people in the middle of June and July with a puffy jacket on this summer. I'm like, God damn, man. My shit's not coming out until October.
Do you have any resorts or mountains that you are got on the list?
As far as skiing,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It can be hard to make the trip to ski sometimes, but top of the list, Revelstoke and Kicking Horse. Just some terrain I've always drooled over and known for some good powder days. So would love to check those off the list sometime.
Have you done much backcountry around here? You've
Yeah,
done Thompson
but,
Pass?
Man, I have not done Thompson Pass yet. But before I was living in Girdwood, pretty much all of my skiing was in the backcountry around here, primarily Turnagain, some Front Range,
Yep.
and some Hatcher Pass. And then being in Girdwood, Turnagain's just down the road. So
Yeah. I mean,
I love
Big
that,
fan.
man.
so
are
you
you-
said it before, we're so blessed to be in Anchorage and just be like 2 hours or an hour and a half that way, an hour that way, and you're just in epic
Yep.
fishing or skiing country.
Are you doing all areas you got to hike to?
So we're putting on the skins at the parking lot or whatever. Yep, we're earning our turns.
Oh, yeah.
One step at
It
a
makes
time.
it better.
Me
Turns
too
are
with that
turns.
4-stroke.
It's a good way to do it. Yeah. No, I am a little scared to be relying on motors just because I'm
Nope, I get
not
it.
all that familiar. So I
So-
like what I know, and I mean, I know I can get out there on my own 2 feet and count on that.
So for the people that are listening, they don't know. When you say put on the skins,
Yes,
what do you mean?
diving in. Yeah. So the skins, one side is glue that sticks to the bottom of your skis, and then the other side is just packed with these fibers, millions of fibers, and they're oriented so that you can glide your ski forward over the snow, and then when you put pressure down on your ski, those fibers grip into the snow, and it allows you to kind of climb your way uphill, actually pretty efficiently and effectively, without slipping backwards. So
it's
then
like
you're not
it's against the grain. It
absolutely. That's a
Yeah.
great way to put it.
Yeah.
okay.
There's a good picture there of different
okay.
types of the skins
Yeah.
that you could
And
put on.
those bite the ice and snow.
Not ice can be a challenge, but you edges, and then there's little things called ski crampons that give you a little extra
Sure.
grip.
Yeah.
But in the right conditions, they're amazing. And
no-
another place that the sport's really progressed for getting people out there.
Yeah.
And those will let you
Slide forward, but
slide
not back.
like cross country
Yeah, it's
to a certain extent.
pretty similar. Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Yep. And then at the top you rip those off your skis, put them in your pack, get ready to go down and have a hoot and do it again.
Do they like roll up? Are they like a roll and then you?
Yeah, you fold them on top of each other. People roll them up, but in
Okay.
general they condense down to an Nalgene size. Maybe some are get a little bit smaller.
Oh, okay. When they're all rolled up, it'll be about like that.
Yeah,
Okay, and that's one side. That's just one ski, or both of them together.
I would say you could get both of them rolled down to about the size of an Nalgene.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Maybe even smaller.
That's what that ski skins thing means.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just trying to act like I knew it when people talk about yeah, those skins. I know those, very handy those things. I'm
not intuitive, not intuitive, and
now my head is like.
I'm not an expert,
get it
but
now.
I do think it actually came from using animal skin.
I bet.
And,
Yeah, hide.
Exactly. And I do think that was kind of like the early evolution.
Huh. I didn't know that. Makes
If
sense.
I'm wrong,
Somebody had to-
shout at me in
Makes
the
sense,
comments.
though.
But
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
we
'Cause
like
I'd love to know. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know what? It sounded very factual, and I believe you. So if I believe you, the listeners need to believe you.
So where's your favorite? Where do we find you? Where's your favorite area?
His backyard.
I'll go Turnagain Pass. Yeah.
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 Mhm. I mean, I love my backyard. I mean, that's okay. Weekday,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Alyeska.
Nice.
Yeah.
Weekends, assuming the
Weekend.
conditions are appropriate to be out.
So on the weekend when I'm driving to Seward,
Yep. Left side of the highway.
yeah, you're the
you'll
one
see
Somewhere in the
You're
middle
the
there.
one up there with the skins just on his
yeah.
way up there,
He's like, yeah, I don't trust a motor.
and I'm just
I don't
like,
know why.
God, I can make money hauling these guys up this hill.
2 hours up, 5 minutes down.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, it's really cool that they designate that side non-motorized for guys to go skiing. I mean, there's so many. That's such a big sport here. That's such a big thing that people do, and it's a great way to get out there fairly cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had the conversation earlier. It's the initial gear investment. It stings once, but then you're out there and you're not paying a lift ticket every day.
Yeah.
And those costs kind of equal out.
Well, isn't
Yeah.
that outing an experience in itself too? Because you got the resort feel, the mountain. You got that vibe that comes from Alyeska,
Right.
but that's a backcountry.
Well,
There's no rules, and
I was kind of talking smack, like, oh man, I'd rather take a 4-stroke and drive up there.
I mean, that's classic smack right there. Yeah.
But but I'm not gonna lie. Like I in the springtime when that spring snow is out and it's still
It looks
cool,
fun.
but that sun is just beaming, so it's warm. And
Yeah.
I'm driving to Seward and I see the skiers and the snowboarders, and they'll have their stuff on their backpacks and they're just hiking up the mountain, and you're just like, God, man, that'd be so badass.
Yo, it looks fun.
I
man.
wish I had that motivation. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it looks like a really good time, and
It is.
And then
Forget the good. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
imagine the views that these.
Then you get
guys
to
see
Johnson
up there.
Pass, and you're like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop at Cooper Landing Brewery.
I'm gonna get
I
some
hope
of
they
that
have a
chili
good
for a
time.
while, man.
I would say though, if you go do Thompson's Pass, it's really cool to bring someone with the machine
Oh, I've definitely heard that.
because that's
Yep.
the way to roll, man.
Yeah.
To get back in there to some of those good spots and have
Right,
someone
and
just
quickly.
zip you up there, and you can get so many runs in. I mean, I probably had one of the best times of my life. We used to go to the tailgate, tailgate out there, and we'd go ride, and the guys would bring their snow machine. I would just go to snowboard. I didn't have my own snow
Yeah.
machine, and I just have my brother and his friend just. I want to do this one. Take me as far as up as you can. Then I just jump off and go, and it's so beautiful.
That's
out there.
me. Hey, my
Yeah.
knees I just can't be doing that anymore. So I like to ride. So
I was going to say, seeking applications for
There you
homies
go.
with snow machines.
Okay, there you go. There you go. There
I
it
will
is.
drive all, and it's gonna be a stunner too. I didn't even put it out there, but
Have you ridden back there in Thompson Pass?
yeah, and it's getting a wrap put on it too.
Oh, the old Yamaha is going to be looking good.
Ooh, it's getting a
What's that thing
mayoral
weigh,
wrap.
about 900
Fresh.
pounds?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, get a winch. You
It's
get
heavy.
a bumper winch.
It's
on the
heavy,
front.
but it's got so much power because it's a straight 1,000.
I bet you're one
You
of
know,
them,
everything got to go.
I bet you're one of them dudes that does a pow turn sitting down. It's like,
Oh yeah, dude. I just
you know how the backcountry bro like dangles, right? He gets on one side, he's hanging his foot
nah.
off.
You ain't got to do all
You're
that.
sitting
Man.
down, just like,
Yeah, I do sit down a lot. Yeah,
That's funny.
Does look fun through POW, for sure.
oh yeah.
yeah. Getting that mayoral wrap. Stay tuned.
There you go.
Catch me out there.
Eric, have you done some heli stuff?
Never been in a
gonna
heli, no.
Are you fearful of it or just
I mean, there's a pretty big barrier to entry for getting in a heli for skiing. One day I would love to do it.
do you feel like your skill set of the skiing part is in line that you could do it?
Well, I think, a lot
It
of those.
sounds like you've been skiing since you
Or
were
is it a
4.
wallet thing? 'Cause it's not cheap either.
I think it's a wallet thing.
Well,
I
and I want to ask that. I just wondered if you were like, were you down for it?
Yeah, no, it would be a dream come true.
Okay.
I feel like I could have a good time on some pretty sweet terrain. Yeah, hopefully with a group that was interested in some similar lines.
Okay.
One day would love to make that happen.
Yeah, we gotta-
And cat
It
skiing is another
expensive.
thing I
It's
want to do
expensive
too.
as-
Cat skiing?
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I feel like you get kind of two different. I mean, and this is just my consumption of ski videos and whatnot. I mean, in the heli, it seems like you get access to a lot of the big, picturesque, long, steep descents, which is, I mean, so cool. And then I think the flip side for a lot of the cat skiing is you get access to a lot of steeper, like treed terrain and
Yeah.
deep snow. So to me, they're almost like two potentially different worlds. At least that's
Yeah.
what I've built up in my mind.
Yeah.
And I want to experience both.
There's almost
Nice.
there's almost like 4. There's almost the skins way. There's the snow machine way. There's actually 5. There's resort way,
Yeah.
heli way, and then the track, the cat way.
Yeah, a lot of
Emily,
good
Do
ways.
you know
Care
Brooke?
this guy.
Do you know Brooke? She lives in Girdwood. Shiny.
I know of her.
Okay.
Everyone does. I've met her a couple times. Yeah,
Oh, she's
she's a
legendary.
legend. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did listen to the podcast with her on.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you? For
sure.
She's
She's great.
awesome. Damn, poor
she's-
thing
yeah,
had to
she's
go drive
badass.
home in like the most epic fucking snowstorm too.
From here.
Yeah.
It happens.
I remember texting her like, "Did you make it?" She's like, "I made it." She Stormship Troopers or some shit or Star Wars or something.
yeah.
With,
Oh
like,
yeah.
Totally. Yep. Don't even think about putting the brights on.
oh yeah, no, you just blind yourself.
Yeah, no, she's living the life, man. Shout out to Shiny. She's doing good out there.
Yeah,
well,
that
we
heli
should set up
skiing
a
would be
trip to
badass.
back to Thompson's Pass, man. I'd love to go do that.
I've never
man.
done tailgate.
You've never done that
No,
either?
man,
Oh,
ever.
Man, it's so much
I've
fun.
never ridden a snow machine in Thompson Pass.
Oh man, it's so beautiful.
I had 3 trips planned up there, not the same year or like year after year. They just like, oh, Turnagain this weekend. Yeah, man, I'll take Monday or Friday off. We'll make it work. And the weather just went to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White out or the
Well,
pass
that's gonna
was.
happen.
Yeah, it was just every single time though it
Yeah.
happened. So I just gave up. I was like, well, fuck it.
I got the motorhome now, man. We'll be living nice.
Shit,
You got to go
yeah.
motorhome
I mean,
style.
let's go, dude. We can go.
We'll
haul
go this
people.
year.
I'm down.
Tailgate
I'm gonna
is
ride out
what,
the
April?
Spencer too, or
Wanna say it's
Spencer
April?
Glacier as well.
I think it's. Are they bringing Arctic Man back?
They are. I heard that. I heard they are bringing
Yeah,
it
it
back.
is coming back. Wait, didn't it already happen?
Well,
I think this year they brought it back.
Yeah, they brought it back this year. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that part. That already.
like
happened.
Arctic Man, the race, the whole thing.
I don't know if it was
I don't
all
know
of
if it's
it.
all that. It's just a big old
Eric,
party.
how long have you been here?
This is I'm going on 11 years right now, so 10 and a half
Okay.
years.
Did
Yep.
you ever make the Arctic Man before it went down?
I have not, but I'm familiar with it. I think I was
Okay.
familiar with it before I even got here. Yeah,
Really?
pretty notorious.
Yeah. You heard of it like that?
Yeah, I mean, same with
The
tailgate.
skiing side or just the party?
The party
part?
side, yeah.
Okay.
And then
That makes sense.
tailgate was where the skiing side and
Sure.
and the party side.
Yeah.
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 It's like skiing with the more, from what I hear, it's the skiing with the partying is the byproduct versus Arctic Man is the party where the race is the byproduct.
Yes.
I can envision it.
Yes. Very
Even though
correct.
the Arctic Man is the race, but I mean, it really is like Arctic Man
Yeah.
and the shit show that is. The homeboys pull up in the 30-foot enclosed trailer with wife beaters on and jump on their 1,000 Arctic Cats fucking.
They
That's-
did have.
I'd rather go to tailgate.
They did have the races.
They have the races.
Yeah, they did go down.
Oh, they
Okay.
did have the races.
100-mile cross country races.
Oh, I think didn't Ira go?
Huh?
I think Ira went. I think Ira went to go do that.
He
Yeah,
was.
he probably did.
He's diehard like that.
They were doing like a horse toe
yeah.
behind the.
Ski jor.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it
no
was.
way.
Yeah, and he was telling me about it. It's come out there, but I couldn't.
Yeah, here it
couldn't
is
make
right here. Yeah.
You met Ira? You know Ira?
Yeah, I do know Ira.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a guy, man. Love Ira. He's selling his eggs.
Who
He was
doesn't
looking
know?
for fresh
Who-
I
eggs.
bet.
Who doesn't?
I don't know
know
who does
Ira.
not know Ira. He's this guy, man.
Yeah,
He's
if
the
you're in
most
the ski
infamous
community,
guy.
you definitely.
Him and
Yep.
Big Kyle. I'm pretty sure they know like everybody in
Yeah,
Alaska.
between them two, the 6 degrees of separation is 2 degrees. Those guys.
Degree and a half.
Yeah.
Official, unofficial representatives of Alaska.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So every time you go somewhere, they're like, hey, hug, daps. It's like, you just don't not know anybody, do you? No.
Perfect. Tell me about the Lister Open Mic.
Yeah.
I didn't really look into it that much. I just saw it on your page because I wanted to have a fresh mind on what it. Initially, my thought is it is reminded me of what's the storytelling?
Arctic entries.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought like it's an Arctic entry kind of deal. Am I on the right path?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I mean, it's
Okay.
definitely a real and raw personal story with the idea of being able to connect with people and, share.
Oh, and for people listening, the Eric's Instagram is ebootman, and also welcome to Alaska Wild Project episode 133. A little late intro there. We have Eric Booton here from Girdwood, and also representative of Trout Unlimited. Correct?
Correct.
It's kind of how we do things there.
Yeah, we
Wow.
the salsa man got us all.
It's been a fun start.
away.
I'm excited to be here. So, yeah, thanks
Thanks
for
for
having
coming.
me. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. So explain to me a little bit what it is that is that just kind of like a life your life story.
That's. Yeah. Okay. No. Go ahead. I was lost for a second, but that's the post that you
Yeah, the open mic.
posted
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely relevant and timely. Blister's an outlet out of Colorado that does a lot of outdoor recreation and particularly
Okay.
gear review, and also doing a lot of story sharing amongst the outdoor communities. And for the last 4 years or so, I've been kind of having my own journey back from some hard times with what was well over a decade of challenges with ongoing shoulder dislocations and recurring surgeries that put me at a really tough spot in my life, and kind of got there through a way of just a learned response of not listening to my body and my needs, and just suppressing a lot of the challenges that I was having, and got to a point where I had a injury to what was at the time my good shoulder, after having 4 shoulder surgeries and dozens of dislocations on my left shoulder, and that kind of tore me down really hard, because I was putting a lot of eggs in the basket about having one good shoulder, and
Yeah.
here I was facing a nightmare, which I mean, at the time was my biggest fear was hurting my right shoulder. And, you know, kind of my response was to do what I had been doing of just pushing forward, pushing through, not worrying about it. And, you know,
it'll go away, right?
Yeah.
The Dave Goggins approach. You know who that is?
I don't know that I do.
Oh, Goggins?
Oh, man. Goggins is, he's not even old, but he's ex-Navy SEAL.
Oh, Goggins.
Green Beret.
He's a machine.
He's the one that
Holy
did like
shit.
100-mile, like, ruck march run type thing with both of his ankles shattered.
Just ignoring the injury.
Yeah.
and
Ignoring
just
the pain.
going.
Mind over matter. Mind over matter.
Yeah.
Piss and
And-
blood type.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, hardcore. And, you know, that'll get you so far. But I think what I learned is at a certain point, you know, you got to kind of address those challenges head on. And that's the only way through them. What was shared on the Blister Open Mic series was kind of, I guess, my personal story and journey and where I got and how I got through it. And I put that out to the world, knowing that we all have challenges in our lives, and sometimes they're hard to talk about, but that doesn't mean that they're not there. It doesn't mean that we're, as our own individuals, not having challenges. And I think there's a lot of value for those of us who are willing to share, putting that out there so that others can relate to it and hopefully find some meaning. And that was, as I was going through this journey of recovery, something that I had intended to do early on. So really proud to have this piece out there. It was a significant undertaking and took years, but got to a place where I'm pleased with it. And so, if people want to search that story out, it's out there. Take a look.
Yep. Blisterreview.com is where you can find it. Blistercraft Collective. I really understand your shoulder deal. I have a really, really bad knee. I've had 5 knee surgeries. I have to have a knee replacement. I am always worried about my good knee. I put a lot of pressure on the good knee, and I'm actually going to listen to this when we're done so I can hear a little bit more of that. But that's great for you to share, because a lot of times you hold that in as someone because all your friends are still going, all your buddies are going, and you don't want to be like, I can't go because my knee, or whatever. And it's just for someone to have the courage to put that out there for the world to listen to. I got to commend you on that. It's great.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. And resonate with what you shared.
Yeah.
That hits home.
Yeah, it's a vulnerability, right?
Correct.
To just like break the barrier down and let the world know what your struggles are. And it's probably pretty crazy how many people are out there that are experiencing the same struggles or challenges.
Yeah.
Physically, but I think probably the biggest challenge is the mental side.
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
And
like that's the struggle's real.
Yeah, because I'm sure you
Talk about mind over matter, right? Well, the mind is what makes the decision and the choice, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure Eric knows as well as a lot of other people, but like just in general, the body has a high tolerance for pain.
Sure.
Like, I'll take myself for example. Like, I live in pain every day of the week.
Same.
It's just a fact of life. It's what I've been through. It's the lifestyle that I live and I put my body through, But, and it's not to say that someone's weak-minded, right? But your mind can only take it for so long before, I don't want to say like you lose your mind, but your brain in general just had enough of the constant pain 24/7.
It gets weary. Gets weary and weary and heavy.
It turns into a mental thing.
You get
like
grumpy about it, man.
Right, and that's not the quality of life that you want. And you're like, fuck this. Like, I'm always in pain.
Yeah.
Everything hurts. I lay down, I hurt. I stand up, I hurt. I go to sleep, I hurt.
There's a whole lot of weight with it. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that's the word. It carries a lot of weight just on you in general. So, yeah. Yeah. And then, your shoulder thing, if I remember, because that's what this is about. But if I remember correct, weren't you out of skiing for a while? Didn't you do something else? Or am I thinking of someone else? To like the knee or ankle or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, all my time on the couch for skiing has pretty much been from my shoulder dislocations and surgeries.
Okay. No, I thought maybe it was someone. I thought I saw a post about
were
like
you
you
getting
did
to the
something
point where
else.
you would like? Can we talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
Like where your dislocations were, could you just pop them back out and then persevere through? And then would you even have multiples during one trip?
Yeah. They started off with subluxations, just kind of quick in and out. That was my first experience before re-injuring my labrum and having to get surgery again. And after that, it shifted towards full dislocations. The first one happened when I was just in the terrain park doing a 540 spinning off a jump and dislocated in the middle of the air, and I fell out of the sky, and it was a really rude awakening. And that, came with hospital bills and all of that.
It was just never the same after that. I mean, it just...
Yeah, just over time, it gets looser, and, the more you dislocate a shoulder, the more bone gets chipped away off the humeral head and makes it easier to slip out.
so why that happens? Okay.
Yeah, it predisposes you to more. And I did get to the point where I was regularly resetting my shoulder, and sometimes it was, it was weekly, sometimes near daily, sometimes.
Wow.
Oh, really?
A couple times, multiple times in a day.
So let me
like just doing normal things.
The life things, sleeping, taking off shirts, putting on coats.
So
reaching for something.
Was this a onset from an injury? Or
540, bro.
Yeah, well, it wasn't until later on that I kind of, at least a doctor presumed that I have just kind of loose ligaments as it is. But the initial injury was, I ran varsity cross country in high school in my junior year in weightlifting class. I actually had a race that day and asked not to lift, and was told to lift anyways. And we were doing max outs, a military variation. Yeah, a military variation behind the neck. And, I got that weight up, and then the gravity kind of won and took the weight back for a little bit for me. And subluxed my shoulder, and that was kind of the initial injury to my left shoulder. And then it was just kind of picked up steam from there.
Did you race that day?
I did. Yeah.
I had to ask because I already knew the answer. Because I guarantee you probably somebody or yourself figured out how to pop it back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to race. I mean, I'm fucking varsity.
Fortunately, those early ones were, they were like in and out on their own.
But
still, it was like, that was
you paid for it later though with ice and.
Yeah. And it was a new experience at that time, and that was kind of just dealt with it, ran. I mean, I think I complained about it a little bit, but early on it didn't feel like a big deal early on. For sure, especially when I was...
Well, when you can tell yourself, like, it hurts, but I'm fine.
Yeah, and also, being 17, 18, doing skiing, mountain biking, like, injuries happen, almost like getting a surgery was, that was normal,
Sure, yeah.
No concerns about being back there.
All you think about is rehab and getting back out.
Yep.
Back in 5 months.
Yeah, it's like the injury is like, I'll be good as new. I'll be good as new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that affect rowing?
I
wanted to ask that.
That's a good question. Let's see. So
Left turns only.
I mean, a lot of this, the peak of my shoulder challenges were really when I was in college, and then carried on to an extent once I got into Alaska. At that point in time in college, I was mostly skiing and mountain biking as kind of like primary hobbies. And of course, there were some challenges at a certain point as far as continuing those activities while protecting my shoulders. And
in the back of your mind all the time.
Oh, for sure. And then at a certain point in college, I just needed a new, safer activity, and I'd already had a fly fishing rod and had a little bit of experience, but kind of dove into it then, and that's when I mean, pun intended, got hooked. Yeah, and then when I was in Alaska, you know, boat pretty much mandatory.
And the fishing was opposite shoulder?
It was opposite shoulder at the time.
Yeah, good shoulder, I should say. Yeah.
I mean, since then I've, you know, had to deal with rehabbing the casting arm. But,
right.
You know, thanks to some people with some skills and experience helped show me some improvements on my casting, and got into the switch rod, spay rods, which helped quite a bit.
Nice.
As far as
two-hand, is that was?
Yeah,
spay.
yeah, it allows you
Yeah.
to, you don't have to go as kind of like back. It's all more in front of you. But as far as getting into rowing, I mean, being up here, certainly wanted to get in a boat and get on the water. And yeah, I picked up rafting kind of at a point where my shoulders were feeling good, and it was before my right shoulder injury. And in general, I can row with confidence. You know, you're doing all the activities in front of you, and it's kind of like in that same sort of safe box. As far as kayak paddling, you know, you're kind of reaching out, you're extending, you're exerting pressure on those outer limits.
Yeah.
So I don't have comfort in those sorts of paddle sports, but I'm pretty comfortable to be on the oars all day. And actually, you know, the summers where I've been out on the oars a lot, I think have really helped strengthen and also add confidence. And, you know, being able to get out there and do that activity successfully without problem. I mean, that also was definitely some positive feedback in
It boosts you up, doesn't it?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
You made a good point. I didn't think about that. When you're kayaking, it's a whole different motion on the side to side versus that traditional oar. It is all just right in front of you.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're kind of
I love it.
rotating
You're just this is the main
the
motion, or
shoulder,
this is the main motion
instead of
versus
flex,
like pack-raft or something. You're going to be doing a
And
lot more of this, or you know,
I would love to get into the pack-raft game, but unfortunately it's
not
the right stroke for me, but that's okay.
So-
I'm doing
sense.
some fun stuff.
So to bring it full circle, so the issue is still there. It's not like a something that's been corrected by surgery or anything. Like it can still happen at any given moment.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I like to think that the issues have been solved. You know, it took 4 shoulder surgeries to get the right one for my left shoulder.
Gotcha.
My right one, I got a little bit more aggressive surgery to help really lock the joint down. And I, you know, at this point, I have developed good confidence in that, which is personally very reassuring. I mean, after what I've experienced, there's still the mental game of knowing that, you know, I had the feedback of it can happen again. And that, you know, can be a challenge too, but I'm also trying very hard to navigate my adventures and experiences, and keeping that in mind, but not letting me hold that back, or not letting that hold me back.
Gotcha. That makes right. So
and choosing the activities that you know are going to be appropriate for whatever
so it's not
elements or issues you have. Like me, I don't play soccer no more. You know, I don't snowboard anymore. I would love to, you know, but now I don't. Now I play hockey. It's less on my knee. I ride the bike. I do things like that. That's just different. You know, you can still find passion and love and fun and so many different activities that, of course, you know, soccer and snowboarding, I loved it. I did it my whole life until at one point I was like, I cannot do this anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's where I was kind of leading towards. Is it's not that you can't pack raft, because I'm sure you have the
you could do
capabilities.
awesome,
It's more of, you know, your limitation. You don't want to.
Why put yourself at risk, right?
Yeah, the risk isn't worth the reward in having an issue reoccur itself or show its face again.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that makes total sense.
Yeah, knowing that you're kind of going further into the realm of having that exposure to more potential risk.
Got it.
Injury again.
Yep. Okay.
Good point.
Well, and the tolerance level is as you've gotten a little bit older, still a very handsome, young-looking man, but as you get older,
Spoken for, ladies.
as you get older, it just you
not
just
living with
think
him
about
She's traveling, I heard.
you just I mean, what do you want to put yourself through? You pick and choose, right?
Yeah.
There's you'll do a Turnagain trip, you'll do some things where you're like, all right, I'm willing to embrace the suck after this trip and what it brings, body pain, mental, but do you want to ever put yourself to that next level of the shit where you've been? There's muscle memories for a reason, right?
Yeah, man. I'm not throwing on the snowboard and going 80 off South Face trying to hit a 780, dude. I'm not.
I know you do it on your last day, right? But you're not trying to do it and then try to go to work tomorrow, right?
Yeah, no. Everyone's got to go to work tomorrow. Man.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Let's
take a quick break, and we're gonna get back into the Trout Unlimited stuff and all that other cool stuff that you got going on there.
Back to the
we haven't
salsa.
gone to that. Back to the
Get
salsa,
that salsa, bro.
Yeah, you got 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Big Ray's, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Ray's has the gear you need tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. At Big Ray's, you'll find brands like Carhartt, Grundens, Darn Tough, FXD, Okiwear, and more. Big Ray's is your one-stop shop for both outdoor gear and rugged work attire. Check out their new exclusive line of durable but affordable waders, inspired by and named after the majestic Aralik River in remote western Alaska. The Aralik wader was designed by Alaskans and proven for the diverse waters of the last frontier. Visit Big Ray's at any of their 5 locations statewide, 2 in Anchorage, 2 in Fairbanks, 1 in Kodiak, or check them out online at bigrays.com.
Tailored Restoration, helping Alaskans turn disasters into new beginnings since 1972. Their 24-hour services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, and repairs. Tailored built its reputation with years of committed and reliable service to the community with innovative restoration and home remodeling. When you have an unexpected home issue at the most improbable time, Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you anytime, day or night. Tailored Restoration has locations to serve you in Anchorage, Eagle River, Mat-Su, or Fairbanks. Give them a call at 907-344-1239 or make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlander products. If you want to customize your vehicle, talk to the team at Total Truck, where you'll find their expertise along with top brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Frontrunner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Lining bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Want to turn your truck into a sleeping option? They have rooftop tents, custom camping equipment, electronics, and solar energy packages to keep you powered up deep in the backcountry. Stop by their store location on Dowling between the New and Old Seward Highway, or check them out at TotalTruckAK.com. I want to say a quick thank you to a lot of the companies that recently have reached out to us to send us some gear. I want to say Alaska Gear Labs, obviously Sagebrush, Wrangle, some of these Big Rays, some of these other local companies that are sending us stuff to use and test out.
What's up with that camera bag, though? That thing's legit, isn't it?
Oh, my God, dude. It's
that is so cool.
I was just on their website today because I want a smaller. I did buy the Cavern, the biggest one he had, but I want like a smaller one that's more like a 3-dayer.
Size?
It's duffel, the duffel, but more like a 3-dayer versus the 10-dayer. Have you seen any of Sagebrush Dry? Stuff?
I have borrowed a bag once. I loved it.
Really?
I've back in the Sportsman Show days at the Sullivan Arena. Yeah, we definitely go drool over those.
Oh, man.
Don't have it in the lineup now, but I mean, I need to change that.
It is amazing.
Especially with that rafting game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big time.
Even if throwing stuff in the back of the pickup, or do you have a pickup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a cap in it. leaks.
They're not sealed tight.
But the Raft, I mean, there's a lot of other good bags. I mean, Watershed and makes some really good stuff, and even Cabela's, and there's
Uncle
plenty of
Mike's.
other ones. But to get something that's locally made and just stand behind their product, it's just, and I beat that bag up, man. I beat that bag up, and it's just holding strong and true.
Alaska.
I want one of each. I mean, and they have like.
I'm when it's all said and done, I'm gonna have all the bags.
Yes, I'm just like, what color do I want?
Yeah. I like the bright options. I like the yellows. I like the reds. I like the blues and the greens. The greens are obviously, kind of go with everything, but I like the bright stuff, man. I like when I drop stuff on a beach, whether it's, a hunt, a float, a fishing trip, I like to know what my shit is. You go with 4 or 5 guys, it's a lot of shit you put on a boat, beach, whatever. It's a lot of stuff. And I like that's my gun scabbard. That's my dry bag. That's my stuff because it's color coded.
Yep.
It's bright.
It is. Trout Unlimited Alaska. Man, they're doing a lot of great things up here. They're doing a lot of great things all over the world, really. Trout Unlimited is. I did watch, I want to say there was an award show recently. My homie, our friend Oliver, was getting some. Do you know Oliver?
Yeah,
Atkins?
I know Oliver. He was. I was on the Volcano with him this summer, actually.
Oh, you were?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Love
Perfect.
Oliver. Oliver's a great person. Great show we had with him.
Fishy dude.
Fishy dude.
Oh,
Fishy
yeah.
dude.
He's all right.
God,
You
that
don't
guy-
call me to go fish.
Oh, man, you
That
got to
guy
call him,
that
man.
guy
He's out
catches
there.
fish,
You
dude.
got to catch him in between trips. He's going.
Yeah.
He'll
But
be out fishing. Where you at?
I be trying to fish too, man. You don't call me.
I
Oliver, you call me.
I will say this. Speaking to our buddy Dustin down at the Bait Shack, he tries to go to a lot of these meetings that are happening with government officials, Department of Fish and Game, and people like that. And it just seems to me, like trying to watch some of this stuff. Sometimes they're on video and reports from him going that it just doesn't seem as if the turnout is what it should be. As far as actual
Reps and everybody?
people representing their areas. There's a lot of people that are going, but it should be like a packed house because they're talking about dealing with issues that are affecting all of us, right behind these closed doors that you should have been there or could have been there.
Yeah, I think across, all sort of levels of government and agencies, when it comes down to resource management decisions, I think that in general there's challenges with community engagement and turnout, and a lot of things do happen kind of without the public knowledge, and whether or not that's because the public doesn't know it's happening, or because there hasn't been a whole lot of effort to make sure that they're aware.
Not a lot of promotion.
But it shouldn't be that way these
shouldn't.
days with so much social media.
There's no
and
excuse anymore.
It's not like you're putting up flyers around,
Yeah.
the
Hoping
word
people
should
see
be
it
out.
on the street side.
Yeah.
See it on
Right.
Instagram and Facebook.
One of the
right
things
now.
that I've noticed, though, and that's not to cut anybody off, with a lot of these public forum things, whether it's Fish and Game or whatever the muni's got going on at the Loose Act, they like to hold things while all of us sitting at this table are sitting at work. You want me to take off of work to go attend this. So you have this at 11 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, we're all at work, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As,
Yeah,
The
go ahead.
strategy.
Sometimes it's hard not to think that might be the case, but as someone who's regularly trying to let people know about these opportunities that they might care about and get them there, I can be there because it fits with my work role, so I can be there in a professional capacity and be there at noon or 10 or 4, but that doesn't translate to the average citizen's schedule. And that's kind of consistent feedback that I think we do have on a lot of these public processes that, they're not all in all that open to the public sometimes. And those are barriers for people to be able to attend during the workday, and sometimes even to attend after the workday. And, we do,
true.
This point in time, we do have a lot of different ways of connecting with people and hearing from them. And sometimes we're still kind of in this model of be at this boardroom at this time. There's a lot of other ways we can engage the public in that process.
Yeah. I agree.
Well said, man. Yes.
What initially brought you to getting involved with Trout Unlimited, and what is your role currently?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to jump back a decade or so here. I moved to Alaska in 2013. Bigger, wilder, less people. Grew up just seeing Alaskan ski movies and having that interest. My grandpa used to come up and fish silvers every year, so see his photos, enjoy some of that deliciousness. And then once I started fly fishing, it was kind of like, okay, well, making this dream happen.
Yeah.
And I got my way into fish habitat conservation in Alaska, not as any sort of scientist or expert or attorney, just as a person who was getting really excited about fishing and cares a lot about our ecosystems and being able to have healthy ecosystems for everyone and really enjoy all of that.
Resource, right?
Yep. And so that, once I got up here, led me into the fish habitat conservation world. I became a member of Trout Unlimited and was volunteer with the chapter board for the South Central Alaska Trout Unlimited chapter for a number of years, and really enjoying that experience and getting involved with the organization and working closely with the staff and helping build a community with the rest of the volunteers and hosting events and turning people out and getting to meet people in the fly fishing community, and learned a lot, both in terms of just Alaska and fishing, and also hosting events and interacting with people, and just the power of community, really.
Yep.
And then a position became available at Trout Unlimited, and it was right up my alley, and here I am today.
Perfect timing.
And my role has just kind of evolved as our the Alaska program has continued to grow. We are a national nonprofit. We do have the Alaska program, which I'm staff of, and then we do have 4 volunteer chapters throughout Alaska. And my role is kind of in the South Central area to work with the community and connect anglers, supportive businesses, and just the general public with our initiatives, our conservation projects, and our goals, so that we can kind of grow this community of conservation-minded anglers and lead to some great outcomes here in Alaska. Beyond that, I've kind of taken the lead on our efforts helping support the restoration of the Eklutna River, which has led to, a whole lot of additional professional responsibilities beyond just kind of the public outreach and events and engagement. Yeah. But kind of been growing and learning the whole way along the side of what turns out to be a really great team.
I think that there's fishing in general is a lifelong learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not something that you're like, oh, I know how to do that now. There's still always something else to learn.
Well, it's a journey.
For sure.
If you're passionate and you love it that much, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. How many members, or I think members is the correct word, would you say are in the Alaska Trout Unlimited?
Is it a chapter?
Chapter.
Yeah, so we have the Alaska program, and then we do have 4 volunteer chapters, one in South Central, one on the Kenai, one in Fairbanks, one in the Tongass area.
Southeast.
I don't know our exact number off the top of my head, but it's
what's like an average?
I mean,
couple thousand?
more than a couple thousand, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
A good chunk of which is in the South Central area.
Oh,
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
What are some of the pros of becoming a member and being involved with Trout Unlimited?
Yeah, I mean, as far as membership, I think the biggest thing is, I mean,
All the honey holes you get emailed.
well, you're
Honey,
you're
hold the week.
Eric's fishing here.
You get a tracker. You got a tracker on Oliver.
that's for the,
28-inch rainbow at this spot last Wednesday.
that's for the life member status.
Yeah. Okay. Platinum
Well,
only. Platinum.
I think the biggest thing is, our members are the first to hear about our activities and opportunities.
Okay.
And throughout the year, and in particular in the off season, we are hosting a lot of different community events. And they're the first to know that, like, hey, this is happening. Like, be here, join us. And so really puts the foot in the door for joining the community. And also, like, gives, a pretty small little financial gift, but that's still some contributions that help keep the lights on.
It adds up.
yeah.
But that being said, we also really value our supporters, and we open all of our events and activities to supporters because we don't want a membership to be a barrier for you coming out and joining us, even if it's just for one thing. Because our goal, beyond ensuring clean water and healthy fish habitat, is for the community to have the opportunity to be exposed to what we're doing, and hopefully learn a little bit about angling in Alaska, fly fishing, getting some of these skills, so that they can be out there on the water and enjoying everything that we have to offer, or that, Alaska, our wild fisheries have to offer. In turn, that also helps create advocacy and appreciation of place and connection to that place.
100%.
You got that right.
Kind of random, but I just came to my mind when you're talking about that. Do they get involved at all with, like, ice fishing things?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our volunteer chapters lead. We have boards that lead our volunteer chapters, and they kind of take the lead on how they want to interact with their local community and bring them into the mission. And over the past several years, the South Central chapter has had. We've had family ice fishing days out in the valley where we've got some people that know a thing or two and help get rods rigged up and people catching fish. We've also had a handful of kind of our chapter meetings we try and have a monthly, but a little bit of a special interest meeting, bringing in some of the avid ice anglers to kind of share on a topic, whether or not it's sort of the gear that they use in the valley and kind of like how to approach getting, I'm not an ice fisherman, so I might butcher some terms, flashers and some of these other kind of technologies and putting them to work, and being able to, help elevate your success out there, or even just like, what are some of the basic tools? What do I need to go buy? Like, where should I be looking for some of this info so that I can be out there and not
intro
just
level stuff. Yeah.
So, trying to bring some of that education to people by bringing the knowledge in, and then also setting up some of those opportunities where people can be out there physically learning, hands-on, having fun.
Yeah. But along with that, you guys get involved with bigger projects like this Eklutna thing. Can we jump into that a little bit? For people, that's, I want to say this is fairly new, what's been happening, right? Can you kind of explain what it is that has been happening and what the goal is?
Yeah. Let's see. So we're talking about the Eklutna River, just north of Anchorage. A lot of people are familiar with Eklutna for the Eklutna Lake, as well as the Eklutna Tail Race. But specifically, the Eklutna River historically held strong runs of all 5 species of Pacific wild salmon. And it has been in the news more recently because in 2018, there was an abandoned dam that had been there for, off the top of my head, since it was built in 1929 and rendered useless in 1955, and since then had been left to block fish passage. And this was around the time that kind of the effort to remove a lot of these quote-unquote deadbeat dams was really taking off. And so it was an opportunity to rip out this 60-foot dam that had been taking what is like a 22-mile watershed, narrowing it down to only like 7 or 8 miles of habitat for these fish, and I mean, causing a significant blow to the fishery. And so that was just a really big celebratory moment to have this obstacle that had been blocking fish passage for a considerable amount of time get torn out, and that was led by Eklutna Inc. And the Conservation Fund. And unfortunately for the Eklutna River, that was just the first of 2 significant problems as far as hydroelectric impacts to the system. So by removing that dam, it opened up access to another 8 or so miles upstream to Eklutna Lake. And the other information for kind of how water is used in the Eklutna system, we have the current operating Eklutna hydroelectric project, built in 1955, rebuilt in 1964 after the historic earthquake. And that project takes all of the water out of Eklutna Lake, funnels it through the Twin Peaks area to the hydroelectric project where it releases water into the Eklutna tail race, the popular put and take hatchery. And so because that project diverts all of the water from the lake, there's no water running down the Eklutna River to support wild salmon. So that means that for a significant amount of miles below the dam there's zero water. Meanwhile, we have fragments of all 5 species of Pacific wild salmon still in the river. And what we've learned from tearing these dams down in other places, and also from how fish have responded so far, if they have a barrier taken down, they're going to take advantage of it and they're going to push their way up. So
They persevere.
They persevere. So currently, there is a small amount of water that actually accumulates past where the dam once was on the Eklutna River, and that's coming in from tributaries, groundwater, etc. But we're talking less than 10 cubic feet per second. For those of us who are, it's a trickle. Yeah. But with that trickle, adult coho and juvenile coho have pushed more than a mile past where the dam once was. Oh, wow. So they're there. They're ready to do the job.
Man. They want to go.
Yeah. So that's...
they're circling back to however many mazillion years ago. We'll still go if there's water.
Exciting and
we'll come back every year.
And, the transition here is, so we tore out this dam that was a problem. We removed that barrier. Currently, we don't have water coming out from the lake, which is still an existing barrier. A
huge one.
Yeah, we're in Alaska. We're supporters of wild salmon, so the obstacles there are getting water back in the river so that fish can utilize that habitat, and then also getting
Anchorage
fish
isn't
passage.
shrinking, unfortunately.
No,
when it comes to its need for water.
Yeah.
Now I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
I thought I heard. I've got actually quite a few things, but
okay.
While we're on that, I thought I read somewhere that I think it might be you guys that are actually fighting. I use fighting as loosely.
Yeah.
Advocating to divert water away from the Twin Peaks area, a small portion, mind you.
Yeah.
To push water back into the Eklutna River to repopulate that. Give those fish water that they need to do what fish do. Right.
Yeah. So circling.
How is that going?
Yep. So circling back, no water's being released. There's no fish passage. Those are the primary concerns. The Eklutna hydroelectric project is currently going through their legally required mitigation process, where they're obligated to make up for their impact to fish, wildlife, and their habitat. And so for Trout Unlimited, we're working closely with Native Village of Eklutna and others, and our goal is to have water return to the Eklutna River, flowing in a natural hydrograph like it would naturally at a level that will allow the fish to make it up to the dam and access that habitat, as well as get fish passage in there so that the sockeye fishery can be restored, and so that the fish can access all that great habitat in the lake and beyond. So yeah, we're working our way through that process right now. 2021, 2022 were the field studies where the data was kind of being collected to consider all of the big questions, including, how much water, if we turn this much water, how much habitat is available, et cetera, to start thinking in, terms of what needs to be done. And currently all of that info has been being reviewed, and alternatives are being proposed by members of the technical working group, which includes state and federal agencies, the utility companies, municipality, and then Trout Unlimited and others are included in that process.
So they're
as
actually
well.
chewing on it. Like,
oh yeah,
they want to actually see it happen too.
Yep. And now there are varying takes as far as what needs to happen. There's a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
That
everybody's smarter than everybody, right?
Well, there's a lot of clear expectation that the fish need water and fish passage, and then there's some different interests in kind of not meeting that goal. So there are some challenges where we do.
And I'm sure everybody has a valid argument in the whole thing.
Yeah, it sounds like a simple process. In actuality, there's a whole lot that goes into it. And I do need to take a step back as far as the water use. So all the water is diverted out of Eklutna Lake. 90% of that goes through the Eklutna Hydroelectric Power Project, creates about 3 to 5% of electricity. So nearly all the water for a small amount of electricity. And then the other 10% of that water does go through the AWU system and provide nearly all of Anchorage drinking water. Yeah. And that is, a use of water that is clearly imperative.
Yeah.
But being able to have a small percentage of water to return wild salmon is a pretty agreeable ask.
I'm kind of curious about this.
It doesn't seem like it has to be that much.
What, water to go back to the river?
For the fish?
Well, yeah, I'm curious about this electric dam that's up there, the hydroelectric dam.
I mean, if we only need 10% to drink.
We just spent how many billions of dollars to build this state-of-the-art power plant off of the Glen Highway. So how much... I'm sure you don't know the technical details, and I don't mean that in an insulting way, but how much power is the hydroelectric dam putting out versus how much power this massive... We have two monstrosities of power plants between, I guess they're all true gas electric now, but the Glen and then the South Anchorage one, that one's a behemoth. So... come on, guys.
Yeah.
Well, what is the main opposition to this?
In general, I've been for the last 6 years of my professional career talking to the public about this and making sure it's on their radar. And there's a whole lot of excitement. And at the end of the day, this, is a opportunity that could be a really good, feel good, doing something for returning a wild salmon stream and bringing it back online, and having a storybook ending. And that's the public perspective. That's what a lot of anglers, a lot of organizations are seeing. And in general, there's, I think a lot of support across the board. When it comes down to it, from the utilities perspective, they're talking about having some costs associated with it and changing the way they operate. And those are challenges for them. So we have been there throughout the process, us and a lot of other groups, trying to bring creativity and work through them, because these challenges can be addressed. And we're working hard to make that happen.
Like the way things have been going around Alaska and Alaska's wildlife and resources, everything's dwindling, and this is like something that's trying to restore something back, and it's the actual way that it's gonna do it. I don't know,
right?
Man.
That dam you said was what, built in the 50s or
20 or which one?
Yes,
renovated, remodeled.
Original dam built in 1929. It was in the Eklutna River Canyon, and then the current operating one built in 1955.
Yeah, the hydroelectric one.
Yep,
right. So it's 2023. Obviously, that's old technology.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it going to cost to bring that up to par? You know what I mean? Versus just
Let
tear
it go
it
back
down.
to natural.
Yeah.
We're talking about putting some of water that's currently committed to a hydroelectric project to a different use. It is, like you said, old technology. There's presumably a fair amount of ways where they could streamline their process to make that water pretty easily available. And as far as the amount of water we're talking about, I mean, we're talking about at most a couple hundred cubic feet per second in the summer. And then in the winter,
stream it way
75,
down.
something like that. And
Yeah, you could shut it down in the wintertime.
Damn
I
near.
mean, nothing's
Damn
running.
near.
Yeah.
well, the flip side of that is for the wintertime is as far as the fish go, they do
smaller-
need that flow of water to be able to still hatch and
well,
survive.
yeah, not shut it off,
Yeah,
but
it is significantly less.
substantially turn it down to
Yeah.
the trickle that it's at right now.
And when we drive over the Eklutna River on the highway, we're seeing a very small amount of water, and it's actually pretty much all water sourced from Thunderbird. That river historically flowed closer to Eagle River.
Oh, and it diverted.
Closer is in the amount of water flowing out.
wow.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
It was
Whoa.
significant.
Eklutna River
That's a lot.
Yeah,
moved
When-
like Eagle River.
not moved, but the amount
The
of
amount
water.
of
That's what I
flowing
mean.
down.
That water was moving
That
like
is
the
substantial.
Eagle River water moves, like
Yeah, like the
amount of
that
water.
volume and that quick.
Yeah,
it was
because
comparable.
when you go over the Eklutna River on the
The river's like
you
as
don't
wide
even
as this
you don't even,
table.
you
You're
don't even
like,
see
nah.
it. You don't even see it.
Right.
You've driven over it 100 million times. And you don't even look.
right. I
You
see
can't
it when after a downpour.
You see
I'm
Eagle
like,
River
man, that
because it's a
joker's-
big raging river,
right.
right? But you don't see Eklutna at all.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And Thunderbird Falls, you don't see anything either.
That lets you know how long that river's been dried up because those trees
Oh.
down there are so grown.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
choking it off. So.
yeah, it's just right
I mean,
on
That's
top.
insane.
Yeah. And, again, this is an awesome opportunity for us to bring back a wild salmon stream within the Anchorage municipality, a historic sockeye run, Chinook salmon habitat while the species continues to struggle. It's a cool opportunity. And, for those who have been listening, we're expecting that the utility companies will be releasing their preferred alternative, basically their proposal for how to make up for their impact in late October. And then in January, there will be public meetings, which we hope you will attend.
Okay, that was my next question.
very good.
How could the
Yeah.
public get
Yep.
involved?
So that's kind of the formal time when the public can be involved. But, in the meantime, pretty much, most
You said
people...
October, Eric. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, so October is when we're expecting the draft alternatives to be released.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
we'll know what's on
January.
the table. And in the meantime, we're trying to make sure that good alternatives are on the table because there's
Okay.
some bad ones out there right now. And then come January is when there's going to be public meetings, come up to the mic or submit your comment, and those will be extremely important times. But in the meantime,
11 a.m.
yeah, hopefully we'll be
Blue
advocating
Sack
for an
Library.
appropriate time.
There's
However,
never a good time, man. Everybody's busy as shit all the time.
Totally,
Eh,
yeah. Well, one thing that you can do when you're not busy as shit is most of us are ratepayers to these utility companies. Their boards are part of the decision-making process.
Yeah.
So you can drop them a line and let them know, that you support returning water and fish passage. And on TU social media, we do have a direct action link that will send that message
who runs
to.
that power plant
Awesome.
back there?
Yeah, good question. Operated by Chugach Electric Association, Matnuska Electric Association, and then the Anchorage municipality still does have a share in it from the Municipal Light and Power Days.
Okay. So you might not know the answer, and I'm just going to ask it in general.
Yeah.
What's the stance as far as the Eklutna tribe area goes?
Yeah.
Where are they at on this?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that they're big stakeholders in this one way or another.
Absolutely. Yeah, this has been a
It's a good
significant
question,
impact
Eric.
on
Good
their
question.
namesake river and severely impacted their ability to practice subsistence and pass on a lot of their cultural knowledge. So for them, while many of us haven't been familiar with this are familiar with this issue, they've been living and breathing this for a very long time, and they have
many generations.
Yeah, that haven't even seen water flowing down the entire river. So they have put forth a vision statement, and that includes water flowing out of the dam and fish passage. The primary goal is being able to ensure that all 5 species, including sockeye salmon, can return. And
that'd be so
cool. It makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not that guy, but I mean, it's the Eklutna tribe that's back there. It's kind of their river.
Yeah.
It's kind of
it's 100%
their land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those things like, hey, we own this area right here, right? This is part of our tribal land area. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want.
I can't help but this is an ignorant question. What was the trade-off?
I mean,
are they getting some sort of funds from the electric?
Kickback.
Are they getting some sort of?
No. These impacts were made without them being consulted. Both of them. Yeah, this was pre-statehood.
So on the record, there is no financial gain whatsoever to them for.
I mean, I can't comment for them, but as far as I'm aware, there's none. And for them, this is just
that's a good answer.
Long-term problem that they're ready to see solutions to. And in the meantime, they do have a significant amount of land that has been made readily available for various projects and developments for our communities.
Yeah.
So,
what are some other projects that are on the horizon, or something that's been in the works that going on? I know obviously Pebble Mine has been a thing that you guys have been involved with. Is that one? Is that done? Or is it still like?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I heard it was done.
I know, but then it's still like.
Yeah, well, you have something like that that's worth a lot of money. Then
they're gonna keep trying.
The wolves are
put
still
a lot of money into it.
Yeah. It's not going to be done until there's some sort of act in which those mining claims are retired and not accessible for mining. So that's the future site. Meanwhile, the governor
there got to be a deadbeat dam.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not quite deadbeat yet.
Yeah. I mean, so there's still interest from the Pebble project to have ways to be able to access that. Then the governor has his lawsuit against the EPA's action. I mean, if we zoom back to when I first got involved with this in Alaska, I think we would be elated that we got to this point, that we were able to get a veto in place on the project. At that given time,
so much opposition, right?
Yeah, and at that point in time, it seemed like it was, we were David against Goliath, and there was a lot of people that didn't think it could be done, and we made that happen. And we should continue to be proud and pleased. But yeah, we do got to do a little bit more defense to make sure that it's not.
Got to put your foot on the jugular, right? Like finish them off.
Innuendo for kill shot or final nail in the coffin or kick it over the goal line or
finish it.
Full tap out.
And this is like, at this point though, we are going into like overtime.
We're close.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Well, I mean, how does that mining claim back there? How does that get retired? You know what I mean? Or is this a 50-year
choke
battle?
out its money? Another finish.
Does it not get retired until that claim owner's like,
in it? Yeah,
whatever.
There's got to be some folks that are like bottomless, pockets. They're
right.
Of course.
Right. So this could be like a 25-year fight.
Well, whenever there's someone who thinks there's some money to be made, they're going to keep going.
There's endless amounts of money to throw at it.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is like a threshold, man.
Yeah. I mean,
at some point,
the armchair attorney in me would say something along the lines of shifting those mining claims into another use of the land, likely through an act of, I would guess, Congress. So something other than mining claims. Other things have been tossed around, like fisheries reserves and something like that. So
Gotcha.
Okay.
Got it.
I read an article today on Alaska Public Media. It was discussing.
You have time to read?
Yeah, man, I do. I read every day. River oxygen levels that seem to be getting choked out because of hatchery fish joining wild rivers and actually increasing the amount of fish that are in there, that obviously decreasing the amount of oxygen
Available.
in the river.
Did
you read that article?
I think I read that yesterday.
Yeah, it might have been yesterday.
I haven't read that article, no. I'm familiar with that potential, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is there a stance that, I mean, what is, in basic, what is the stance of Trout Unlimited's idea with hatchery and that stuff?
That's a good question. Most of our Alaska work to this point has been focused on maintaining healthy habitat. At this point, we've shifted to doing a lot of restoration of habitat that's been degraded. And we do have, work throughout the country. And so we're kind of learning and evolving from that work as well. In Alaska, we haven't done a whole lot of diving into the hatchery issue. In other parts of the Pacific Northwest, we've dove in pretty deep, particularly in regards to wild steelhead and hatchery steelhead. And we are working in more into that fight down there. And we, I think, do have some interest to have some more conversations about what that looks like in Alaska as far as addressing some of those concerns.
Yeah. Is it a thing where, like, don't spread ourselves too thin here, let's focus on some of these things first before we move to the next issue or whatever?
Yeah, it's definitely somewhat of prioritization and capacity thing. And I mean, we can't take one step anywhere without uncovering something else that we'd love to dedicate our time to.
You open up a can of worms, everything you touch,
and
just the way it.
Yeah, and we're talking about a small organization with a small team, and a state that's a third of the size of the rest of the U.S. We got a lot of great things going on here as far as like good, healthy watersheds. And then we do also have, a fair amount of concerns in the way of mega projects on the horizon, and also like small impacts that we can take care of to help bring habitat online. And, it's hard to approach a state like Alaska with some strategy. One of the things that we have done throughout the country is kind of prioritize the waters in which we're working on. So looking at the importance of some of these waters for ecological function, or for wild fisheries, or for economic reasons, and also places in which TU can have a role and be impactful. So that's something that we have been doing over the past few years.
Like bite off like pieces you can chew on and do something with, versus take this on and you're just never going to dent anything, right?
Having the highlighted spots of like, we can focus here and we know we can do work, as opposed to like, this is Alaska. What are we going to do here?
Yeah.
How do we not get sucked
narrow
over
it down
here?
there? Yeah.
Well, my question is, it's a national organization. So why can't, and it might be an ignorant question.
Not afraid to say that, man.
Right. Take, I don't know, California, right? It's hot. They're running out of water anyways. So, hey, dude, like, your stuff is low on the priority level. So why don't we shift your resources, like your personnel? You can help research the oxygen levels of the river systems of mixing wild run and hatchery induced river systems, the mixture of the two. And let's combine our resources to tackle this. And then we'll help you with these as you figure out your state type thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think,
you get what I'm saying?
I do. And correct me if I'm off in my answer, but, I think that each of these locations and rivers and watersheds that we're kind of prioritizing, those are important to the people in those communities, and then also the basis of clean water and life. And then, take that out to the next level for recreation economy, and then for those of us who want to go fiddle around with a fly rod in our hand. So it's important for all of us.
I'm not discrediting, and I say that, but I'm not discrediting California. It just using that as an example of, hey, we could take one person from California, one person from Arizona. We're just picking one person out of each chapter. That's probably double the size of the Alaska chapter, and let's combine and attack this.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest benefits that comes from having that wide presence, is we're getting a lot of exposure to a lot of different problems, and we're kind of learning through that, and also building kind of knowledge amongst our staff, so that we do have a science team that's familiar with these problems kind of across the U.S. or in like the Pacific Northwest, and then that can be translated to addressing problems or concerns elsewhere. So kind of building a little bit of internal knowledge, meanwhile, at least for, the sake of Alaska, one of the reasons we have such great habitat and water quality is that we are a little bit further down the road as far as kind of the expansive development that a lot of other places saw with Industrial Revolution and other things. And so we have witnessed all of these ways in which other places have impacted fish habitat and wild fisheries and what the consequences were.
Yeah, so we could take a more conservative approach.
We can learn from it and not do it. And we can also see, the impacts we have had and see what was done elsewhere and apply those lessons here to make up for those impacts. So, a lot of benefit in those knowledge from elsewhere.
Right. At the same time,
why are you trying to steal people from Arizona?
I mean, wherever. I'm just throwing out.
They all want to come up to Alaska. That's for sure.
Oh, I'm sure they're like, whoa,
is there a chapter in every state?
I
bet you
believe that is the case, and I'm going to confirm that because I know there's a Hawaii one.
Oh, there is. Oh, that's cool.
If someone from volunteer operations is listening, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that there are.
Oh, that's awesome.
And many states have many chapters.
Yeah. Can we, before we close it out, we're getting kind of long here. Can we highlight maybe some of the great things that Trout Unlimited has done? It doesn't have to necessarily be in Alaska. Some of the highlights of things that they've accomplished and been successful with. And then also one more time, how people can get involved.
Yeah. Well,
can I have you highlight
in Alaska.
One thing specifically real quick?
Shoot.
Because we didn't touch on it, but if you go on the Trout Unlimited Instagram page, the Resurrection Creek, you'll see a video of it, and it was a massive restoration project. I'm talking like full-blown dozers in the creek, pushing dirt, moving things around. So if you could just
for sure
quick, here's what happened type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we're talking Resurrection Creek out of Hope. Super popular family fishery. Yeah. Great time. Good place to get some people on some pinks.
Right there on the 90.
Yep. Yeah. And also one heck of a trail in wildland area. So Resurrection Creek was one of the sites of one of the initial gold rushes in Alaska. So early 1900s to mid 1900s experienced significant placer mining, and that left the river in pretty poor shape. It took what was a healthy salmon stream with diverse habitat characteristics and pretty much straightened it. Degraded, limited the diversity of the habitat, which was poor for fish, and kind of upped the velocity.
I see.
Yeah, there was
made it rage out.
Totally. Made it not a good home.
Yeah, and it's a downhill stream.
Yep. In the 2000s, the Forest Service tackled an initial restoration project, and I think 1.5 miles restored that into good quality fish habitat, and had some good success. Right now we are in phase 2, the second phase of that project. And so that's a 2-mile stretch paralleling the road as you approach the Resurrection Creek parking lot.
Is that what that huge construction section?
Part of it.
Because some of it's highway expansion. Are we talking about the right?
No.
So
this is down in the Hope area.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
headed into Hope.
Okay.
Before you get to town, you peel off left to head up the dirt road to Resurrection.
Okay.
One of the spots of Resurrection, past Trailhead.
Yeah.
Right along Resurrection Creek there. And that's kind of where this project has been going on. So, restoring 2 miles of habitat that was lost and abandoned from the placer mining operations. So bringing back this year, built in a whole bunch of great channels and good habitat. And then there's
a video up there.
If this isn't like a video that not moves you, but lets you know that you're making a difference.
It shows the magnitude of what.
Yes, magnitude of what they're doing.
What we're doing to resurrect something.
Yeah, love it.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
play on words.
Yeah, and so in the video, they're adding
My eyes roll back in my
rerouting
head.
the water into these habitat channels that were created that have better habitat for fish. And actually, pretty much immediately following, they were packed with humpies. There was a great visit where there was a bear in there fishing. And so, this is a pretty cool project and something that we're proud of. It's been a partnership with the Forest Service, the National Forest Foundation, Hope Mining Company, who still operates in the area but is invested in this river, and Kinross Mining Company out of Fairbanks.
That's cool.
That are willing to put their own money into this. To restore.
Yeah, this is, a partnership of diverse interests coming together to make things happen for fish.
That's cool, man.
And that's also
look at the truck
something we're proud of.
dropping a load of gravel, and then the cat grading it out, and
and you said the federal government's involved in this as well. Well, I'm assuming because it's moving. Yeah.
Yeah. So the National Forest Service is has large involvement because they're a landowner of the area. Yeah.
Right on.
God, that is so cool, man.
That is
well,
a great
and that's okay. So that kind of answers Adrian's question. Daniel had mentioned maybe like nationally. Do you have any perspective or anything like anything coming down the pike? Anything that's happened? Anything kind of earth shattering or moving the needle recently?
Yeah, I gotta say, my focus is purely on Alaska.
Right. But you're connected as a unit nationally, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think one of the things that we're routinely proud of and pleased with is, I think our organization does a lot to accomplish these restoration projects, to learn from science and apply that into the resource management and decision making. And some of that work is pretty isolating and out in left field, and a lot of people don't know what to do with it or how to understand it or how to interact with it. One of the things I'm most proud of is how we are able to connect people to what's happening and help them be involved, give them tools to be involved, and also give them some kind of understanding of how this impacts not just the rivers we love to fish, but also the waters that are so important to us as anglers, but also our communities and everyone else. And along the way, I think we're doing a pretty good job of having some fun and bringing some people into a community.
Yep.
And
great. Go ahead.
Oh, I just got to wrap up with, one other thing we've got happening. Next Friday is our annual Armed Forces fishing trip. So we'll be rocking it.
That's huge.
Down on the Kenai. We've got a good handful of our Kenai Guide ambassadors lined up to get members of the armed services out in their boats for a good time. Dallas Voss, who was recently on your podcast, is running a boat for us.
Nice.
And this is one of the opportunities that we are able to host every year. It's supported by Ken Ross, and I've been able to help plan and host the last 4 of them. And they're
you're hosting it.
I help put it all together and
nice, dude.
Get the word out and find
Thanks
people
for
to
your efforts
join
on that, dude.
And it's a really awesome part of my job. It takes time and effort, but being able to get people out there, whether or not they've caught a fish, whether or not this is their first fish, it's a freaking blast. And there's a lot of great relationships that have came from it.
I bet.
Yeah.
Networking, connecting, and
just members of the armed forces community having a good time together, and
That's great.
a lot of them are fishing with each other now. So
That's awesome.
You mean after the fact and annually, right? Yeah,
Yep.
because they connect. Hence the networking part. Yeah.
Adrien was out with us last year for the 2022 one on Willow with Adam and the Fish Hound crew.
Nice.
Sweet.
I was. It's a good time.
Yeah, I bet.
I believe you tangled with a hog.
I did.
If you don't
I
got a
forgot the
picture,
name.
if you don't got a picture, it don't count.
I got a witness right here now.
I was rowing by, and I was backpedaling as much as I could to get a look. I got a look.
We floated past it on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I just stared at that same spot like this.
Did you put a cast there?
No, because I already remember what happened last time.
Well, you got
I knew not to do it again.
sucked up in a log
What do
jam,
they
right?
call that? The log hog?
Yeah.
Log hog. There
I was
it
like,
is.
I'm not doing it.
That one
That's the
always
spot.
wins the battle, bro.
Yeah.
Log hog.
That one breaks your line every time.
One or two log hogs in that river.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, they're definitely a good time if you're listening and you're a vet and you want to get in with it. I mean, go to the Trout Unlimited Facebook page or Instagram page. Shoot them a message so they have your contact info for the next one.
Nice.
It's really
where was the location again?
This one is going to be on the Middle Kenai.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
We try and bounce it around. We've done the Kenai before, but we try and do a different spot every year. And usually it's
it's a big turnout.
dozen to 2 dozen people.
Yeah, you got to find the right
How
river
many
that
people?
can support everybody.
A dozen to 2 dozen participants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I thought you said 1,000. I was
Oh
like,
my
what?
gosh! Wow. Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I don't know if we would love to do that. I don't know if we're prepared for it yet.
What river supports that exactly?
Yeah.
No, Campbell Creek.
So pleased to be able to have that opportunity. And if you're interested in looking for that in the future, the best way to keep in touch and get kind of the instant updates is our Instagram out at Trout Unlimited Alaska and our other social media channels. You can reach out to me. I'll plug you in, and we've had a lot of great conversation here. There's a whole lot of other things Trout Unlimited that is doing both in Alaska and nationally, and we'd take another 9 hours to cover those.
Yes, yes. So get involved, Alaska. Get involved. Get involved. Get involved.
Always,
this is for our
man.
future. This is for our kids and for our stuff as well.
11 a.m. Loosac Library next week.
Yeah. Yep. Ask for it off now.
That's right.
Eric, thanks for coming in. Thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing your story.
Great work, man. Great work.
Telling us about your shoulder and your passion for your skiing and your obvious passion for Alaska and what you're doing with Trout Unlimited. And like you said, and as was mentioned, sometimes a lot of that work is done kind of in the shadows or kind of in the background. So we appreciate you coming on and maybe shedding a little light for some of our audience and some of our listeners on some of the work that you guys and some of these other great organizations are doing. So really appreciate your time. And for people listening, it's eBootman on Instagram, and the Trout Unlimited Alaska is also the other Instagram. Any other last comments?
Eric, thank you. I love to end the show with some really, heartfelt statements. And it's once again, it's amazing to sit in here and have these conversations with people and have eye to eye, conversation and contact, that you are truly passionate about what the mission is for Trout Unlimited, your personal agenda and passions for Alaska conservation, fish, wildlife, water, people, because the fish impacts people. People impact fish. It goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
And you truly, truly love what you do, and this is what you're all in on. And thank you for that.
Yeah.
You again, you said you've been here since 13. You're as an Alaskan as anybody, bro.
Thanks.
You love it. You've embraced it. You're entrenched in the culture, and you're a person that's trying to make a difference and make it better. So thank you for that.
I will accept that, and it's been a real treat to.
It gives me goosebumps saying it. I really appreciate it, man. I do.
And just to caveat off of that, thanks for coming out. And how do you word this? You've been through some things, and just to come on here and relive it, so to speak, that says a lot in general. And I know it's not easy, and I know sometimes life can be a bitch, you know? I mean, just keeping it real. But no matter what, every day when you look up in the mirror, you just got to realize that even though that nobody is patting you on the back or anything of that nature, like, you know what you're doing, and we see what you do, and there's other people that notice it. They might not say it, but I'm telling you, you're an inspiration to many people, whether it's in the skiing world, whether it's in the fishing community, or just in the Girdwood lifestyle living in general. People know who you are. They see you. They talk about you. You inspire people, especially through your story, and then the way you conduct yourself, live your life. And for most people, it's like, oh, it's just a measly fish. But for you, it's more than just a fish. And thank you for what you do.
Thanks.
Nice,
I appreciate
man.
hearing that. Yeah. There's been challenges in life, but they've made me who I am, and I'm proud of who I am, and love being able to help support people and be there for people. So thanks so much for having me on. Really, really enjoyed it, and I do have a lot of passion in this life, in this world, for fishing, conservation, skiing, and so many other things. And no matter what happens from here on out, they're going to be part of me. So
That's right.
thanks for letting me share.
Thank you, Alaska. Thank you for listening. AlaskaWildProject.com, Alaska Wild Project, Patreon.com/Alaska Wild Project to support. Please go to Trout Unlimited Alaska. Support if you can. Show up to a meeting. Do whatever you can. Reach out to Eric if you have any questions. He's be willing to help, especially if you're a veteran and you want to get out on some of these trips. Thanks for listening. Alaska, we appreciate you. Thank you to all the sponsors. And as always,
stay wild.
You'll remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Rays has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of Auralic waders. Big Rays for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO.
Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They're the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders, founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic, or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Should you not claim to be at least his equal in prowess and act upon the claim? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and it's too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly to say they cannot do it.